Greg Cody is getting an unusual number of compliments on what is being called a new shirt, but looks to me like an old shirt that just doesn't get worn very often. Zaslow, what would you say is the material of that shirt?
It's really soft looking. I feel like he looks right out of Boogie Nights, if I'm being honest.
It does seem like a shirt out of the 70s, and I think it's terry cloth, the material. It feels like a bath towel. It seems like something that would be very sweaty in South Florida, given our general humidity. It seems like something... Chris, what do you think that material is? Is it terry cloth?
You know me, I'm great with materials. I'd go, terry cloth.
You got that terry cloth?
I don't know what it is.
Does he know what terry cloth is?
Of course I know what terry cloth is.
Let me see, because I used to work at Juicy Couture, and they seem similar, but one is terry cloth and one is velour, and they're very different.
Get in there, Billy.
Hold on.
Give it a feel.
Can it be felt?
Nah, there's no way.
Yeah.
Well, he's gonna try in a second.
Are you saying can it be touched, or is the material felt?
It's just a joke. I've been using that joke my whole life.
Can it be felt? Well,
Can it
look,
be felt?
it does look like the cover of a
do you
billiards table.
It's closer to burlap.
Burlap.
Does it seem
That
to
would be
you,
rough.
Billy? Does it seem to you something like South Florida humid? Seems like something that will be damp by the end of the show. No.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of guy who doesn't sweat,
That's an odd
to be
statement.
honest. I mean, I just don't sweat.
Name
Or
the
fart.
Name the things that will make you sweat.
Baby.
I don't know. I don't sweat.
That's not possible, Greg.
That's how little he's active that he thinks he doesn't sweat.
Did you give it up?
I did give up sweating.
That's nice.
Yeah, just like I gave up cigars. And a
And
year
farting.
later. Right. Yeah.
I like how you have so much control over your body, and then all of us who don't have the same control over ours make fun of you for being master of your own body.
Yeah. No, it is a matter of control. Like, for a while there, I was wearing nothing but long-sleeve shirts because I didn't like some of the bruise marks.
Bad
They
arm
weren't-
days.
Yeah.
Bad arm life.
But I had to talk with my arms. I said, dudes, you're very important to me. Get together. Get your act together. And it worked. Like, I don't know whether it's psychosomatic or what, but my arms began to rally around me.
Could it be that your dog just stopped jumping on you and scratching your arms?
No, he still does that. But
He has gotten better, though. I think that should be a factor here.
He's gotten much better. Well, he's 3 now. You know, he's no longer a puppy.
21 in human years, or dog years, I
Yeah,
guess.
right.
It's not the way it works, man.
Coming into
What
his
do you mean?
own.
It's
Jumping
not just
Charlie.
take the dog's year
Times 7.
and multiply it by
I
7.
it
hate
is.
dog ears.
That's not the way it
I'm
works.
sorry, are you a vet?
No,
You went to
I'm just a
Santa
person
Fe,
who
not
understands.
UF. UF has a veterinary
Are
school.
you a vet?
I have multiple dogs.
I have multiple dogs too.
Really?
You don't just
How many
multiply it
dogs?
by 2.
I have 2 also. How many dogs have you had die?
This is a contest of how many dogs have died?
Yeah.
I had 1 die.
I've had 3 die. And cats. The cats I bury in the backyard. The dogs, we just let the vet take care of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you get like the rock with their name on it in the ashes, or you just kind of forget them as soon as
No.
you leave?
Puddin' is somewhere in my backyard.
Yeah,
Puddin'
I
is?
have no idea where.
Is that so?
I got the paw print, in the clay.
And what'd you do with it?
Why are you laughing at that?
What'd you do with it?
It's in my kitchen.
You have a dead
in
dog
your
in your
kitchen?
kitchen?
No, I get the paw print in like the mold.
You have dog ashes in your kitchen.
In your counter?
Who said ashes?
Puddin with an apostrophe. It's
Yes.
not.
Oh, sure.
The name of the
I had the
dog
same
was
question.
Puddin.
Yeah. Puddin apostrophe. What a cat name, huh? Puddin. But that was Erlene's cat before we got married.
Why do the cats get a ritual, but the dogs just get shipped off to the vet and the incinerator?
I guess size. You know, if I'm burying a 60-pound dog in the backyard, that's like an excavation.
How much does Charlie weigh?
95.
It's a big dog.
Really?
Yeah, he's a big dog.
95
When did Charlie get that big?
He grew.
I know he's. I don't know if he weighs that much.
He does. Trust me.
Now he's got to be called Charles.
Yeah.
Football is back, Jack. Oh my, we've waited for so long. We're so damn excited that we put it in a song. Don't need no check downs. Give me big hits and quarterbacks. Keep your fantasy team from falling off the track. Football is back, Jack. Whether on the ground or through the air, When the chips are down and you throw a prayer. When your team is primed and on the hunt. It's 4th and 10, you refuse to punt. When the shoulder pads and helmets crack, that's how you know that football is back, Jack. Let me hear you say football is back, Jack. This high is wild and out of control. And we're gonna ride it every week till we reach the Super Bowl. Don't need no check downs. Give me big hits and quarterbacks. If you say this game's the best, I'll say it's a gag. Football is back, Jack. Football is back, Jack. Football is back. Football is back, Jack.
Greg Cody of the Miami Herald has come in here with a new old shirt, the material of bath towels, and he is claiming that FSU has not played anyone, even though FSU has swamped Alabama, and it ignores that Miami hasn't played anyone either.
Well, Miami played Notre Dame.
Right, 1-2 Notre Dame,
Okay.
and Miami did less against Notre Dame offensively than even Purdue did.
They played an 18th ranked USF, 18th ranked at the time. And then they had a nice win over Florida. You can say Florida is not that good, but it's still a traditional rival that had a chance.
But why has FSU played nobody but Miami has?
Because FSU opened against Alabama, which everybody thought would be a tough opener. After that game, let's not retrofit, okay? After the FSU-Alabama game, we're all burying Alabama. We're firing the coach. We're saying, bring back Saban. Alabama's done. The era has officially ended. And now all of a sudden we're saying, they're not that bad. No, when they played Alabama, Alabama was pretty bad. Then they played 2 cupcakes in a row. Actually, at Virginia in their next game, I think has a chance to be a test for FSU. They're only favored by a touchdown. If they beat Virginia handily, I'll be a little bit impressed.
I think it's fair to say that Miami hasn't played anybody either. I think that's fair to say because Notre Dame's shown you nothing, Florida's shown you nothing, and you're supposed to beat South Florida. They're the 5th best team in the state.
So FSU winning against the team the impressive win that they had when they beat Alabama doesn't impress you, but if they beat Virginia this week, that will really show you something.
Yeah, in a way. Yeah, sure. Because, now everybody's got film. When you play an opening game, it's sort of a crapshoot.
Okay.
Now.
Wouldn't that make it harder to win?
In a season opener?
Yes.
Not necessarily.
I think it is fair to say that what you have seen from Miami so far this year has come against opponents that haven't shown you much of anything against anybody because South Florida's big win was against the other team that's not impressive, which is Florida.
South Florida kicked the shit out of Boise. That's not nothing.
Okay, fair enough.
And Florida's got a great defense, and Notre Dame at the time, championship game last year. I mean, Notre Dame coming in off a big season. Notre Dame was favored at Miami.
Miami's offense against Notre Dame made it seem like Notre Dame had a good defense, and Notre Dame does not have a good defense.
A&M scored 41 on them, yeah.
And Purdue scored on them, too. Notre Dame's defense has shown you nothing so far this season, and Miami was less impressive against Notre Dame. Miami's offense hasn't shown you much this year. Like, they were good against South Florida. They didn't show you much against Florida, and against Notre Dame, like, we're doing some eye test stuff here where, they look bigger, stronger, and faster, but it hasn't produced offensive results that you're like, wow, they make a lot of big plays. That's not a big play offense. It hasn't been so far this season.
They scored 26 points against one of the best defenses in the country. If you think they're going to score 60 points every game, you're heading the clouds.
Greg, they scored 26 points, but they scored 26 points at least in part because Florida's offense was so bad. Like, they should have scored 50 points given where they were starting with field position some of the time, especially in the first half. The fact that game was 13-0 at the half, given that Florida did nothing but have 3 and outs the entire time, I can sit here and make a good argument that that Miami's opponents haven't shown you much this season.
Okay, I think most people, dare say most people except you, were very impressed with the way Miami beat Florida. I was. The poll voters were, who moved them up 4-2.
It's the same way that LSU beat Florida, and I think it's fair to say now, given what we've seen from Clemson, we have no idea how good LSU is
Yeah, I'm
either.
not sure LSU's that good. Yeah.
Miami's in a weird spot where they don't have a dominant offense, but they have dominant drives within these games where you're like, oh, wow, Miami can move the ball against really anybody in the country. And it's like 10-play drives, end in a touchdown.
Well, I think
You have
that's the way
7
Chris
runs.
Will wants to play. Like, he wants to pound the ball on the ground. I think that's how he wants to play.
I mean, this is not the Cam Ward off the flawed Cam Ward team from last year where maybe they're going to win a game 38-35 if they can launch a big comeback. This is a better all-around team. It's a more balanced team offensively. They run the ball. They eat the clock. They play defense. I mean, a 26-7 win over Florida is impressive.
Greg, here's why it's not impressive. Carson Beck, 0 for 6 on passes longer than 10 yards. More than half of his completions, 9 behind the line of scrimmage, 160 passing yards, the fewest he's ever had in a game that he's started and finished in his career.
Right.
Weather was terrible.
Agreed. It was, but those are bad stats. Like that's not showing you much. You would agree that so far this season, their offense has not shown you very much.
Okay.
They are strong. They're a physically strong team. That part's obvious. Their offense is physically strong, but you have not gotten the kind of play. And I don't want this to sound like criticism. I'm just saying if you're going to file the criticism against FSU, you can also file it against Miami. FSU did beat Alabama. While you might not think that Alabama's any good, Notre Dame has shown you nothing this season.
Carson Beck had the worst game of the season for him, the worst game he'll have all season, I believe.
You don't know that.
And yet they won handily over a very good defense. That's a game they lose last year. If Cam Ward has that kind of game last year, they don't beat anybody. This year, despite their quarterback having a terrible game, really, really bad, they ran the ball, they played defense, their offensive line dominated, and they dominated. They had a chance to win that game, and they did.
I mean, it's not like they've gone out there one of these games and scored 16 or set. Like, the 26 they scored against Gators was their lowest output so far this season. I mean, and they scored 27 against Notre Dame. I get it, A&M put up 41 against them, but 27's not nothing. You know, I mean, and I would say, I think we could probably agree that Carson Beck is going to be better moving forward than he was last week. Like,
he can't be worse.
No, right, and they
he's
still
bad.
scored 26,
Right.
you know?
I
So
agree.
I don't want to put down what the Canes have done so far with their resume. I like the Canes' resume so far, but I will add, they haven't played a single road game yet, and they don't even leave the state until November.
Yes, that's fair.
important to point out.
Yep,
so is the
that's
U
fair.
back or not? I don't understand.
I'm
Like,
unsure.
It seems
Somewhat.
like you can't halfway. It's like you're in or you're out. Are they back or are they not
They're
back?
definitely Beck.
Jeremy, oh my God.
The U is back. I like it.
Thank you.
Put that on a shirt, Greg. The U is back.
I do think we can meet in the middle here and agree that UM at FSU is the biggest test yet for both teams. Let's just agree on that because it is. And
Agreed.
As Ed says, they haven't played on the road yet. That in and of itself is a big test.
Jeremy,
for them.
what kind of objections did you have? Because this tone is very different from yesterday's tone when I feel like we all anointed the University of Miami the championship yesterday.
We spent 7 minutes on this show yesterday talking about Mario Cristobal's confidence in the way that he's walking around.
It's true, though.
I mean, are you
Did you not
kidding
hear
me?
him interviewed this weekend?
And he looks thin, by the way, Dan.
The praise for this
Delgadito.
team finally winning the game they haven't won for 20 years. That's what this is. This is, Miami has lost this game for 20 years. So now that they finally won one,
When we don't, you don't give
my
them
God,
credit?
congratulations for scoring 2 of your touchdowns in the final couple of minutes to make that game look like a bigger blowout than it was against a Florida team that's not going to make a bowl game and was out without 4 defensive linemen. Like, they have a very good defense. They're going to play good defense all year. They're also probably going to win 4 football games.
I love how you're like, and you scored 2 touchdowns late. It's like, yeah, you scored 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, but we're going to talk about like it's a blowout. It wasn't a blowout.
Yes,
it was
it was.
13-7 until there were 4 minutes left in the game.
2 touchdowns don't matter?
Of course they matter.
Like, what is that? What are we doing here?
Well, we're doing 26 points as if it was like this easy thing, and then they were coasting at the end. All I'm trying to say is, I was told last week that Carson Beck is better than Cam Ward potentially, and I have not seen anything like that.
I don't think anybody told you.
I went back and listened to the show.
They just said that Cam Ward would have lost that game also.
Yeah, they said that too, and I went back and
the
listened to the
defense
show.
was-
On I believe it was August 21st, I was told that Carson Beck had a better fall camp than Cam Ward did, which, of course, was a rhetorical trick, as Mike Ryan pointed out. And then last week, Dan said, Mike's saying that Carson Beck is better than Cam Ward. And you know who got no pushback? Dan. From Mike, because that's what you guys believed after beating a USF team that built up their credibility against a bad UF team.
Whoa. Not you guys. I've been making fun of Mike for that take for 2 weeks because he has been saying that he thinks that Carson Beck is going to be better than Cam Ward and has been better than Cam Ward. And I believe that this offensive line is better than the one that Cam Ward had. And although Cam Ward had Restrepo, I believe that this team has more wide receiver options, although Florida covered them up. FSU is averaging 58 points per game. I know they aren't playing anybody, but their offense and Castellanos, they look like Miami looks. They looked against Alabama, and it's confusing to me because they went from 13-1 to 2-10, which is something I've never seen in the history of the sport.
Well, they lost their quarterback.
Yeah, but I still have a lot of teams lose their quarterback every year, and I've never seen that happen to a team before, where they go 13-1 and then they go to 2-10. Where in that sport, who the hell is 2-10 when you're one of the major?
And when they won 13 games, they lost the bowl game by 60.
Yeah, that was and because they lost their quarterback, as Billy mentioned.
But they also, they put up 77 against East Texas A&M and 66 against Kent State.
Thank you.
And all right, so let me just add here. Even if you want to doubt the Canes' resume so far, okay, Ohio State's number 1, which makes sense. Defending national champion. They won at home against Texas. Who should be ahead of Miami right now? Penn State has played nobody. LSU, they beat the same Florida team, and they beat a Clemson team that's definitely not any good. Georgia, maybe you want to say something nice about Georgia because they won at Tennessee? Okay, fine. Oregon's played nobody. Like, who should be ahead of Miami?
That's a good point by Zaz, because while I can sit there and knock down, and I can, all 3 of Miami's opponents, because how many losses are there on that? You've got 3 teams. Notre Dame's got 2 losses. Florida has 2 losses.
3 losses.
3 losses, excuse me. 3 losses. And South Florida beat Florida, and both of them can't lose the game. Somebody's got to win.
Tie.
So they could tie, but that's not. So you got 1 loss. You got 3 teams they play that have 6.
Can you tie in college? Maybe you can't.
Yeah, but the number 1 team in the country at the time beat the number 1 team in the country. So that's a bigger win than any of Miami's wins.
You can't tie, actually, in college.
No ties.
They'll
why didn't
play
you point that
400.
out?
They'll play
It's going forever.
They'll play 400 overtimes. There will be no ties in college.
I want to let Zaz marinate in his error.
I just realized that. But what he's saying is correct, because nobody has played anybody just yet, and because you guys aren't sure who's actually good. You only have the choice right now. The only team that would have an impressive win is the one that beat Ohio State. Are we in agreement on that? Like, it's not possible to have, given that we thought Alabama was going to be better than that. I suppose Florida State could make the argument that they should be ranked ahead of Miami.
Oh, please.
They can make the argument.
No, they beat Texas.
It'd be a bad argument. They're 8 for a reason. And let me give you a bulletin here. Now, the FSU game at Virginia obviously will shape what I'm about to say. Right now, though, Miami will be favored in Tallahassee. They will be favored. Yes, probably by 2.5. It would be my early guess. But mark my words, I'll take bets on that.
I mean, the reality is Florida State is ranked 8th because they started the year unranked. Miami started the year highly ranked, and
That's
so
fair.
when they continue to win against teams of repute, because the voters don't know anything. That's why USF was 18 after one win.
I think you're
and then
wrong.
a
I think
win over
USF's
Florida.
good. Like, USF is one of the better group of 5 teams.
Yeah, they're fine. Like, good. Let's give the group of 5 credit now. Like, that's not what you're going to do in the long term. Ultimately, they might be the group of 5 representative. But the resume that they've built up thus far is beating Boise State, another group of 5 team that is of high repute, mostly based off the reputation that they have from a Statue of Liberty play 18 years ago.
And well, I mean, they're ranked again. Are they? No, they're not ranked again yet.
No, they're not.
But they also haven't. Look, USF wins at an SEC team. It's a good win. It's a good win.
Yeah. I understand that, but that same SEC team is going to lose like 8 games. And did we talk about Vanderbilt when they were winning 3 games?
Lose 8 games?
Yeah, he's got
They've
them
already
with 4
lost
wins.
3.
He's got them with 4 wins this season.
If we're going to have a haven't played anybody off,
Maybe you're right.
it's Penn State.
It's everybody.
No.
But this week,
They've played FIU, Nevada, and
That's a good
Villanova.
game.
And Billy claims FIU look good.
They did.
Scored 0.
I just realized that we could basically say of all of the
He puts
unbeaten
dead animals in his kitchen. He's
teams.
lecturing me.
That was weird. We're still worried about that.
Every team in the sport that has a winning record, we could say they haven't beaten anybody. Every single.
That's right.
Ohio State beat
They're
the
the
number
only
one
ones.
team in the country.
Well, this year, look, Ohio State is number 1, period. There's really no argument. And then it's like it could be a 5 or 8 team tie for second. Anybody in the top 10 almost, especially the top 8, could make an argument, well, we should be second.
Billy,
not by any.
I assume that Texas is good, but go ahead and prove it. Go ahead and look at their schedule and prove it to me.
Oh, they can only play the games that are on their schedule, Dan. And they lost to the now number 1 team in the country by a touchdown. Yeah. What would you like them to do to prove it to you?
Have we mentioned Texas A&M? Because they have a win at Notre Dame. But we don't know if they're good.
At 1-2 Notre Dame. Yeah, it's a good trick. It's a good trick to play. That basically anyone you say to me has a good win, you're only doing it based on how the voters rank them before
So why have
the
we spent
season.
25 minutes talking about rankings if none of it matters?
I mean,
If
the
UM's
rankings are
wins,
irrelevant.
doesn't matter who UM beats, and Ohio State doesn't matter, and Texas doesn't, then why do we spend 25 minutes talking about
UM
it?
should be ranked number 2. I just
Thank
think that ultimately
What do you
anointing
think?
them. No, I think anointing them after a win over Florida as if that is some sort of statement of epic proportion. Like this team is going to be a national champion because they can go on the road and beat a Gator team that just lost to USF in that same
You
stadium.
rather they played Kent
that has
State.
a
I got you.
terrible quarterback. No, I'm
I
not.
got it.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that when we let Mike give a acceptance speech in which he's thanking the SID at the university because of a win over the Gators, I think maybe we're letting things go a little too far. It's at the same time we're insinuating we didn't talk enough about UM. And I know I'm a coward for doing this when Mike's not here, but I would do it to his face. I
cowardice
have.
behavior, gutless.
I mean, Mike does his
Yellow
thing on
belly.
Monday, then you come in on Tuesday when he's not here,
Look,
and you talk your crap to him,
if
then
you
he
really
comes
wanna
in
talk
on Wednesday
crap-
when you're not here, and he talks his crap to you, and then finally Thursday we get the two of you talking to each
Hey,
other.
look, man, UCF is a better scoring offense and scoring defense. That's all
You know
I'm saying.
what? Cam Gorby, the SID, he does do a hell of a job.
He does.
He really does.
Moving on
Love
to
you,
last night's
Cam.
football game, Baltimore and the Detroit Lions. I wanted to ask the group of you a question on something because the changes in this sport have been really interesting. I remember Aaron Rodgers came on with us and claimed, and I don't know that we could refute it, that he invented the quarterback who doesn't turn the ball over a lot. That he invented, once upon a time, Greg, you can speak to this, Dan Fouts was considered a great quarterback who would often throw 5 interceptions in a game. And the way the sport has changed has put such a premium on don't turn the ball over that you've got a lot of quarterbacks all over the league, whether it's Jalen Hurts or Kyler Murray, who are throwing for 150 yards because it's just like nothing is more important in that league than don't turn the ball over. So now Derrick Henry has 3 fumbles in 3 games. He never fumbles. And I don't think that's the way he's going to age. We've seen no proof of him aging. He seems like the closest thing in that sport to a superhero. But the position is disposable. What's his contract, Tony? I think he signed there for $10 million a year because he was available to everybody. And what I wanted to ask you, because the sport has gotten so good at individual metrics and measurements, and the turnovers are at such a premium, how many turnovers does a Derrick Henry have to have that it dilutes his excellence, because the way that we're measuring these guys, if you turn the ball over, it's such a catastrophe that you end up undoing some of the good work you do, where we can claim that Derrick Henry's turnovers are now responsible for the Ravens. We believe they're a good team, even though their defense has given up as many points as the Dolphins. Like, their defense gives up way too many points. But we can make the claim that Derrick Henry is responsible for losing a couple of games, because you cannot turn the ball over in that sport. So how many do I have to give you before you say, that's undoing the good work? That's a net negative at a position that's disposable in the entire league, even though on that team it's pretty important because their running game makes everything happen.
Yeah, and Derrick Henry, the timing of his fumble loss last night was the turning point of the game. I think throughout the NFL, there's a lot of RB1s who get benched if they fumble and lose 3 times in 3 games. Derrick Henry's not one of them. Okay, you ride him all season long. Now, if it gets to the point where at midseason he's got 5-6 fumbles, maybe you reconsider. But right now, you don't even.
He's got as many fumbles in 3 games as he had all of last season.
Yep.
This is not a human being who fumbles the ball.
Right.
2 years, $30 million. He just signed an extension in May.
What's the answer to my question, though, on given that the sport, we will agree on, every coach in the league will now tell you that the most important thing, it's not even making plays. It's don't make plays for the other guys. The protection of the football is at a premium we have simply never seen, and it's part of the reason nobody throws the ball downfield anymore. It's all these 5 and 10 yard button hooks all over the field because they want to be super cautious. What's the answer to my question on how many turnovers does it have to be that you're diluting Derrick Henry as value?
I think if he continues to have the performance that he had the last couple of weeks, where last week he ran for like 20 yards total, and this week he only ran for 50 yards total. You know, at least in the first game of the season, right? Where
10 yards a carry.
Yeah, like he had 100-some-odd yards, and it was a fluke play. You'll live with it. But last night, he only had 50 yards to carry and 50 yards to the game, and he scored a touchdown on like a 30-yard run. He really didn't do very much yesterday.
But Baltimore has much bigger problems than Derrick Henry. Their defense has been one of the disappointments in the league.
Yeah.
Their offensive line last night was awful. They gave up like 7 sacks.
Detroit manhandled them. They really did.
Detroit's offensive line was fantastic.
Which is annoying because they've just replaced these 2 guards. We've been trying to get a guard for 15 years down here in Miami. And they're like, oh, we had some people leave our offensive line. They replaced those guards, and it looks like a well-oiled machine. So annoying.
That was the difference in that game last night for me, is that one offensive line was great and the other was terrible. And that's one of the reasons why I think the University of Miami is not a good team but a great one, because they're great on the offensive line and the defensive line.
The big dog was saying that the UM offensive line could be better than the Dolphins right now.
Billy, why are you laughing at what just happened?
The big dog was saying.
Yeah.
You were listening on the way into Joe
Love
Rose, were you?
Yeah.
What was it? Tell us more about what the big dog was saying, because yes, Detroit.
Well, it was him and Omar Kelly talking about Omar's love life, and then we got into
Right, of course.
Ooh, how's that going?
the offensive line. Right now, he's focusing on himself and being a good dad.
All right, that's great.
I'm glad to
He
hear
said it
that.
on air. I mean, I feel like I can share it.
You go, Omar.
The Detroit Lions have one of the 2 best offensive lines in the league and have had it for 3 years. They've made Man Campbell look like a genius, even though Man Campbell is not a genius.
My thought the entire game last night relative to Detroit was I just couldn't stop thinking, how the hell did they look the way they did week 1 against Green Bay?
Well, Green Bay's defense is really good, and I do believe that if I put Detroit on the road outside of a dome, that they can look like that. What Green Bay's defense has shown us this year is that it is absolutely elite. I know that yesterday was Sunday was a surprise that they lost at Cleveland.
But they weren't able to get after Jordan Love the way they got after Lamar. What, they have 8 sacks last night?
Yeah, it was insane. And to the Packers' point, it's like, yeah, the defense is great, but then you let Joe Flacco, who had like 140 yards and a pick, score 13 points in 3 minutes and 38 seconds to end your game. It's like that they love losing in these weird spots. Yeah.
Their defense has been bad this year. I'll say it again. They've given up as many points as the Dolphins, and I believe the Dolphins to have a historically bad defense. I believe that the Dolphins are going to look like that on defense most of the year against most teams that aren't the Jets.
Next week, 1-2 Chiefs. against 1-2 Ravens.
What kind of game is this, Zaz? Is this a...
If we were doing big game or not a big game right now, I'm not going to give away spoilers, but if we were doing big game or not a big game right now, it'd be a big game.
We're not doing it, though.
We're not, though.
We're not.
I'm not giving away any spoilers right now, but that would be a big game.
One of the many things that confuses me about that sport is how it is that defense doesn't translate from one year to the other. They were, the Ravens, second league-wide. What you have happening, they've allowed as many points as the Dolphins, okay? That's a lunacy, correct? You guys are in agreement on that. We are, after the first week of the season, we all thought that the Ravens were among the best teams in the league. You guys, as we sit here today, you haven't had your faith shaken in Green Bay being one of the good teams in the league, correct? You just thought football happened on Sunday. The Browns did something because they've got an elite defense as well that is just football happening in a home
Jordan
game.
Love made a really bad decision. That's what happened.
But we have, if I asked you guys for a number of good teams in the NFL that you know are good, what's the number? Is it 7? Is it 6? Is it because the Rams are going to be in there, the Eagles are going to be in there, but that you know we're good? Is it?
Do we know Indy's good?
I feel like we
don't know.
I
We don't
think
know.
they're
This is the
good.
test. This is the test.
I don't think
this
we know
week.
yet.
Rams and Indy matchup.
Okay, so let me talk about this for a second because when you talk about Derrick Henry fumbling and it being unusual, in my lifetime, you tell me if you guys have other examples.
I got 6 teams I know are good.
Do you guys have other examples? Tiki Barber is someone who corrected a fumbling problem. Josh Allen corrected a turnover problem. I generally think of those things as not correctable. Derrick Henry is not a fumbler, and I don't think any of us would allege that that's how a running back ages, where he suddenly starts to fumble. Do you guys have any other examples of somebody who can simply eliminate the fact that they turn the ball over? Because it seems to me that more than ever in the league, if on offense it's a premium that you cannot turn the ball over, on defense it's a premium that you must. And more guys are punching at the football than we've ever seen. That's not up for dispute, correct? There's guys throwing haymakers and just hitting the football is not something that's ever happened as much as it's happening right now in today's game.
They are going to change that rule. They are going to take that out of the game.
Yeah.
Why?
You can't just – because what if you miss the football? You're just allowed to punch players?
But how many times did they miss the football and nobody cares?
Well, but this is why that they're going to start. A, because it's causing a ton of fumbles, and you can't just throw haymakers during the game at players. It's a crazy thing if you miss and you just give a left hook to a guy.
It's one of the most accurate things in the sport when it's done properly, right? Somebody's diving to the goal line, and then all of a sudden, Landman comes out of nowhere, pow!
Yeah, but Zaz is right. If you eliminate the punch, then all of a sudden you've eliminated the violence in that sport.
What else does he want, man?
No,
what else do you want taken out of the game, huh?
The fumble should happen in the course of a tackle.
Last year, the Ravens' defense was second league-wide in rushing success rate. This year, they're last. I don't get that. Do you guys have an explanation for me? Does anyone have an explanation for me?
My only explanation would be 3 games.
And the first one was a bit of a fluke. But I am still surprised by seeing Detroit running up and down the field outdoors on the road when I saw what they looked like against Green Bay. And I believe that the way to beat Detroit, because they are very physical up front on both sides. Like, you've got some stats from last night's game that we have not seen before. The Lions are the only team in the Super Bowl era to have a game with 7+ sacks, 4+ rushing TTs, 0 turnovers, 0 sacks allowed. That's exactly the kind of team that you want to travel with on the road, that you want to play in the snow on the road with, but I don't think any of you believe in Jared Goff on the road. You all think that game against Green Bay can happen to Detroit on the road against a good defense.
And I thought this was the setup spot where it's like, oh, Jared Goff, they've kind of figured things out against the Bears. This is a normal spot for Jared Goff to go like 17 for 30, $182 and 2 picks.
I got 12 good teams.
No way.
What?
You want to hear them?
I have 7.
You want to hear them?
Yeah, go ahead.
Tell me who's not a good team here. Rams,
Good team.
49ers.
Not good team.
That's a good team.
No.
3-0.
No.
Mac Jones keeping everybody
They're
afloat.
injured. That's a good team.
Beat the Cardinals 16-15.
Yeah, but that one's tough just because they're
Well,
three.
USF beat the Gators 18-16, right?
All right.
No Niners.
They're 3-0. If you make one more UCF point during this show today, I'm going to ban you from the building.
That wasn't a
Not ju-
UCF
not
point.
It was
just-
USF.
USF.
No, but we can hear your it's
I
it's
can
all
just-
through the
it's-
UCF.
Why? Just because I'm
prism.
wearing a
It's-
Citronaut shirt?
It's all in there.
All right, I'm gonna keep going. That's 2. The Bucks.
Wait a minute. That's not 2 because San
Okay, fine.
Francisco,
We're split on San Francisco.
I think some people agree.
in this condition, it's a good organization. It's a winning organization. But in this condition, they are so hurt that I don't believe that people expect them to just continue to win.
Next 2, Bucks, Packers.
Okay.
Okay.
And then we got Lions, Eagles, Commanders
Well, but I mean,
with Jaden Daniels. And then Chargers, Chiefs, Ravens, Bills.
Chiefs.
Oh,
That's
Chiefs,
11.
Chiefs, come
What are
on.
the Chiefs?
The
Who?
Chiefs are good. You guys
Chiefs
are
are
nuts.
nuts.
No,
don't do this.
I
care
don't
about
think
you.
they're good.
No, they're half good.
Listen to Juju yesterday. Dan's doing this thing like, be careful, guys.
Dan's always been right.
They're
Dan's
get-
been right 100%.
They're gonna get Rasheed Rice back, and you guys are gonna look
Contract
dum-dums.
up or
Talk about
something? What's
Rasheed
going
Rice
on?
like he's Jerry Rice.
Billy, what are you?
And then the Vikings were the last
You
team.
think Tony's in a contract year and
Hey,
therefore
sucking up
he's-
for summer. Dan's right 100% of the
No,
time.
no, I
What
didn't say
is
100%
that?
of the time. I said 100% on the Chiefs take. That's we've been talking about it for 3 weeks already. Their offense hasn't been the same, and everybody keeps telling you, "No, just wait, it's gonna happen." No, it's not gonna happen. They haven't been good.
It's weird. What's happening with the Chiefs is super weird in terms of we will not be convinced that it's a lesser offense, even with about 2 years of proof on it.
Of a lesser offense.
Like it's just what being grandfathered in there is you simply can't erase how good Patrick Mahomes has been and how much hyperventilation from all the announcers it's been, so that you can't. There are no amount of facts that I can put in front of people that are going to change their mind on this.
Where do
one.
we land on the Vikings?
No.
No.
All right,
Good
well,
defense,
You
good
guys at
defense.
least. All right, let's say I took out the 49ers and the Vikings. That's still 10 good teams. You guys said 6 before.
There was a couple in there, too, that we were a little questioning.
I'm taking out Commanders.
I think you have to put parameters on what we mean by good teams. We don't mean, for me, you don't mean teams that look pretty good right now. You mean teams that 2 months from now we think of as Super Bowl contenders.
No, I don't think that's what we're talking
Okay,
about.
I think that's what we should be talking about, okay? If anybody is saying Indianapolis Colts have a chance to win the Super Bowl, you're being delusional, okay? The Buffalo Bills are up there. Baltimore, I would still put up there. The Chargers deserve
That's
to
a
be
good team.
there.
But why are you being delusional on the Colts? Because the point I was starting to
Daniel
make
Jones.
with Tiki Barber and with Josh Allen is that Daniel Jones, through 3 games, the way they're having him play, seems to have corrected a turnover problem. And the reason I was asking you, do you guys know of people throughout the history of the sport who have corrected that issue? Because Daniel Jones used to play in a panicked way, out of desperation, because of the way that the Giants structured everything around
But
him.
they played 2 bad teams in the Dolphins and the Titans. The Broncos is a game that they almost lost, but they've played 2 bad. The Dolphins' defense is atrocious.
Yeah, but they've murdered those 2 bad teams.
Okay, but the turnovers is because he's been playing against 2 bad teams. Those will come when he's playing good teams. Like, this will come back down to the norm.
Tony's right. Like this week at Rams.
I mean,
That's a who's who.
Daniel Jones will have the 4-pick game where the entire country, in unison, like a chorus, goes, "He's back."
Jack.
Don't trust Daniel Jones yet. Come on.
It's a who's who game.
I mean, it's something.
I mean, it is.
Well, which is it? Make a decision. It can't be. It's either a who's who game.
I wanna see
or
what's
it's
what.
something. Is it a what's what game? Is it a who's who game? Or is it something?
We know the Rams are a who, so it can't be a who's who game.
big
So,
game or not a big game?
It's a what's what. Like I want to see what's what.
Wait a
with
minute,
The Colts.
Tony. You can't.
Is it a
Tony
big
has
game or
just
is it not a
put
big
in
game?
front of Zaz the most important of questions. Zaz is going to make a ruling. He is a judge. He's a lawyer. He's not a vet. We learned that earlier. He's not. He is not a vet.
But I do know how dogs age.
But
I
you're
mean, you have
gonna
plenty of dead dogs. I get it.
you're gonna get. That was interesting to see Greg Cody go over the top of both of you on. He's had more dead pets than the rest of
Yeah,
you.
I've had longer too.
How come
only
we?
pets.
How come we only do the years thing with dogs though? Like we don't do cats in cat years and stuff like that. It's just for a cat, we're like you're 8, you're 9, you're 10. But a dog, it's like he's 33 in dog years.
Yeah, we could do that with all animals.
Stupid.
honestly. Yeah. I mean, a lion.
Always hated dog
A
years.
lion lives to be 10 in the wild and 15 to 18 in captivity. So what do we do there?
Hold on a second. Do people actually ask you how old your dog is, and you're like, he's 36?
People do dog years. It's a thing. I'm with you. I hate it. Dog years is a thing. How old's your dog? Oh, he's 28 in dog
No
years.
one says
Nobody
that.
says that. I say my dog is 3.5. I don't say he's going on 21.
He's getting old. He's 70.
Wait, so I made up dog years?
No, you didn't
No.
make
What
up dog
are you
years.
guys doing to me?
But
Why is
nobody
this-
calls their dog.
Everyone's
by dog
looking
year.
at me right now like, Chris, you're an idiot. It's
No,
like, this is
I'm
a
not
thing,
looking
dog
at you
years.
that way. We don't do cat years. That's not something that we do. I assume that's because they have nine lives. I don't know
Oh,
why.
nice.
I
Good point
don't
about
know.
that. I
I
didn't
don't
think
know
about that,
why
yeah.
we don't do cat years.
Doo-doom.
Why do we only do that? Thank you, Billy, for always supporting.
I was trying to hit a
everything
laugh
that's
button, but I'm
happening
not
around here.
there. I can't hit, What am I supposed to do?
Can you guys explain to me if there's a coach in the league that you think
we were in the
is-
middle of a big game, not a big game.
Yeah, Dan, what are we doing?
Sorry.
Oh, come on. Colts,
Colts,
and Rams.
Rams. I'm not going to give you a spoiler here, all right? But if Colts and Rams were playing right now, that'd be a big game.
We don't have any imaging. That we don't have anything. We don't have anything to support big game.
Likelihood Rams win big, extraordinary.
So you're done. You say
What was that?
you don't believe in the Colts. Pat
Right. I
McAfee
don't.
says every year that the Colts are going to win the Super Bowl. He's the only one saying it, and you're saying that the Rams are going to throttle the Colts.
Yeah, I don't think the Colts defense is great. I think it's pretty good, better than usual. I think Jonathan Taylor is off to a great start, but I think Daniel Jones is going to be Daniel Jones, and I think the Rams are going to make him look like that. I just do. I could be wrong. Maybe a couple of months from now, the Colts are 8-1, and then I'm eating my words. But right now, I don't trust their 3-0 start.
You say that there are two bad teams, and you're right that the Colts have played two bad teams, but still, there are a lot of bad teams in the league, as we just surmised, and only one of the good teams has had 19 straight drives without having to punt because they scored on all 19 of the first 19 drives of the series.
Yep.
On this episode of Alley Oop, first of all, go to our YouTube page, DLS Hoops. Juju right now, it's unrivaled season for him. The WNBA playoffs don't even exist. Look at him right there. Mend these broken wings. Let me fly again. Hey, go to our YouTube page. This Tuesday, it's dropping.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
It feels that America is a little unsafe in a number of different places, and Dianna Russini is joining us now. And before today, I believe that the most dangerous situation that Dianna Russini found herself in was being hit by a car while she was walking with Mina before a hit on our show. But Dianna Russini is joining us now, and she is fresh from having witnessed a robbery. She was in the she's in the middle of chaos. What happened, Dianna? And welcome to the show.
Hi, guys. Yes, I'm in the middle of a danger zone in suburbia, New Jersey. Was not expecting this. So I had to run into Walgreens real quick to just go pick up some, whatever the heck some cleaning product. Not important. And I'm just kind of, I have my phone. I'm about to walk in. And this guy comes flying out. And these two other men behind him are like, that's him, he's going. And the man that stole the items got into the Tesla and sped off. And they're like, he stole, I don't know what he stole. I found out later it was razors, but at the moment I didn't know what.
I swear I was going to say razors. Everyone's stealing razors.
Why?
Why?
I don't know. Like, why are the razors held behind the lock and key? I don't know.
Now, to be fair, I do use my husband's razor all the time because the male razors are just better than the women ones, but that's a different story. I guess I do steal it from him, but I don't steal it from Walgreens. So anyway, so this is all happening. And by the way, this is like 3:00 at school pickup. So there's just cars everywhere. I'm like, oh my gosh, a robbery. And the guy that ran after him is looking and he looks over at me. He's like, hey, are the Giants going to start Jackson Dart? I go, what? Because you're Dianna Russini, right? I was like, yeah, but wait, are you all right? Like, is everyone all right? Like, that guy have a gun, the guy did not care. He did not want to talk about the robbery because he followed me back in and he wanted to talk Giants in aisle 3, and we did.
So are they?
No, it's a great transition. It's funny. I texted people from the Giants right after that happened. Like, you're never going to guess what just happened to me. They were like, where do you live? I'm like, I actually live in the same town as Brian Dable and Joe Shane. So things are not good around here. But that being said, yeah, I think it's coming. I don't know for a fact right now that they're making the switch. Obviously, Brian Dable was pretty weird about it on Monday. That is the first time he just got bizarre in his press conference, and usually that signals they're having conversations behind the scenes. But the time is coming. This offense isn't doing anything. They can't win a game. Brian Dable, Joe Shane are on the hot seat. It's no secret. So I wouldn't be surprised if they make that switch. The only argument that's being made right now, Dan, which I'm sure you guys have talked about on the show already, is if you're the organization, do you want Jackson Dart's first game to be against a red-hot Chargers team that looks like one of the best right now in football, or do you want to wait one more week and allow him to start against a Saints team that is just okay,
Dianna, it just occurred to me, I think that you're wasting your fame because you would be an incredible accomplice to, crimes. Yeah. You just have to show up at the tail end of the crimes and everyone forgets that the crime happened and they start asking you questions about football. And they're like, I don't even, razors, who cares? I think you need to kind of start testing this and just do small scale things like pharmacies and stuff like that, maybe donut shops, whatever. And then you make your way up to a bank and you have jewel heist. And then you just show up at the end. You're like, yeah, Dianna Russini's here. Any questions about fantasy or NFL? And then they'll just flock to you and ask you questions. And then you just kind of split it with the person after.
Yeah, and just talk football, distract the police officers.
Yeah, of course. You talk
distract security that's at the Walgreens that was running around.
You're on the crime scene. They lift the tape. You just continue the conversation with the officers. You kind of kick things around there. You gotta, what is this? That's actually the way that you get away with the crimes is you go into it and you're like, what is this? And you just start touching everything. So then your DNA and your fingerprints are on everything anyways. And they're like, Dianna was just touching things.
Shopping.
I'm sorry.
I was just here.
Exactly right.
I didn't know. I was just an innocent bystander. I mean, look, this was probably the biggest thing that happened in my town anyways, just someone stealing razors from the local Walgreens. But that concept of, I call it getting stuck, unfortunately, sometimes answering football questions, but it happens at daycare pickup all the time. There's these 3 dads, all 3 Giants fans too. And I think they wait for me. Like, they know my car and their kid's already buckled in. Like, there's no reason for them to get out of the car. And they'll see me pull up, and then all of a sudden they like have to pick a flower or, pick up a piece of chalk from the sidewalk. They're like, so Di, what do you think?
What are their names? Let's call them out right now. Jeff's dad.
No!
What are their names? Hey, Jimmy, Mr. I don't know, whatever. Sanchez.
I don't want to do that.
Stop
No,
hanging out, creep.
Yeah, the daycare pickup, even in it's funny we're talking about this because I asked Kevin to switch with me. I'm like, hey, can you do the pickup and I'll do the drop off, because usually people are rushing in the morning and then I don't get stuck helping people with their fantasy lineups. Meanwhile, Kev's like, I'll help them. I'll do it. Like, I have great ideas. And like, no one wants to hear no one wants to hear your roster, which would be filled with Philadelphia anyways.
What's your move to avoid it? Do you like act like you're on the phone?
No, I'm pretty good about it, because I mean these are the most important people in my life, right? They're like the parents of Mikey and Joey's friends. I'm gonna probably have to be around them forever, right? So I have to be kind of nice, but I have to tell you something. They don't care about what their kids are doing outside of school, like running in the parking lot, honking the horn, like. When they want to talk about their fantasy team or when they want to talk about whatever's going on in football, like they are locked into whatever it is I'm saying to them. And that they're probably going off and, telling their buddies like, oh, I found out that this guy's not playing. I have to be careful probably, right? Like I probably shouldn't be giving out too much info in the parking lot. So yeah.
Save it for the crimes. Yeah.
The crimes thing.
Dianna, I have to ask, what do you estimate was the 40 time of the alleged robber who sped out of the Walgreens?
Good question.
I don't feel like you had to ask that.
Yeah.
So it is a good question. It is a good question because I was thinking, I didn't think he was that fast. Like, I didn't even know what was happening, because usually you would imagine if a guy was stealing something, he's darting out of there, Like, he wasn't moving that quickly. Now, he did beat everybody in the Giants fan that was chasing after him, so he had to have a little bit of speed, but I thought maybe he got a head start. But then, so I don't know what the speed was, but I can tell you that I remember thinking, like, do I get involved here? Right? Because that's like another, like, going back to the Mina story from years ago, and I can't believe you recall that. It's how involved you want to get when there's a crime happening in front of you. I think it's like your natural instinct to help. Well, at least it's mine. Like, I want to get involved to help. But, I mean, what was I going to, like, should I have tackled him? I felt like I probably could have chased a Tesla. Could a human being tackle a Tesla? I mean, the guy's like beep, like, when a Tesla goes in reverse and he gives you the warning, it's like beep, beep, beep. The guy, it did go off. It was like beep, 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 and then he took off. So it wasn't that scary of a heist.
Why was your Saturday morning column so popular?
This past weekend, I wasn't sure what I wanted to start with in my piece this week because there's so many great topics to get into. But people have very strong opinions, Dan, about Tom Brady's conflict of interest as a minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders, a broadcaster, a flag football player, a coach wearing a headset. I did not realize that this was such a big topic in football, but it is. And I think everyone just has a really strong opinion around football right now on how they see it. So I asked a lot of people in the league what they felt about it. And I had one coach say, good, I'm glad he's got so many jobs. The less time Tom Brady has to run the Las Vegas Raiders, the better for the rest of us. Because at some point here, the offense, Chip Kelly, someone there was going to be like, hey, Tom, I should probably use your knowledge here because this isn't going well. This isn't that good. We could be better. And then, of course, you have the other idea of him sitting in production meetings, he's a shrewd person to begin with, having a little bit of an edge over other people. No one else in the league is doing that. I mean, the only conflict of interest, and I don't even call it a conflict of interest that I can think of right now is maybe J.J. Watt, right? He calls his brother's games. He's called 3 this year, I think. That's probably the closest to having inside information, but that's different. He's not sharing that with his team. J.J. Watt doesn't own a football team right now and helping them prepare for their next game after calling a game, against the future opponent.
Dianna, how many teams in the league do you know are good?
8, right?
Split the difference.
Yeah, we were doing between 6 and 10, and Chris Cody ventured out there with 11, but threw the Vikings and the Chiefs into the mix. Are the
49ers.
Are the Chiefs one of them?
Yeah, I think the Chiefs are fine. The Chiefs always look at September like such a joke. Not a joke. I don't want to disrespect the work that they're putting into it. But it's like, it's just an extension of preseason for them. Most of the summertime, they're practicing with guys that wind up getting cut anyway. It's not real there. They don't panic. Even when I have conversations with people there, like, no one's ever like, God, like, how are we going to fix this? When you talk to other teams right now, I mean, you would think the season was over with the way summer's so dramatic and so, doom and gloom at this point. But look, the Chiefs have figured this out every single year. They always come out of the gate a bit slow. And then, they're going to get Rashee Rice back and Xavier Worthy here eventually. And they're going to be back, and we'll be talking about how they look great again.
I'm looking at the screen right now, and Dan Graziano's pick for Week 3 loser was the Chiefs. Even though that's the one game the Chiefs have won, they looked so bad against the Giants that robbers are, creating situations for Dianna where she's asked questions about whether Jackson Dart is going to start this week, because Tony says that the red zone drive of Russell Wilson is the single worst red zone effort that he's ever seen.
It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, right? You get a couple plays to score a touchdown, try to get yourself back in the game. He airmails one into the tunnel that they call intentional grounding, and then on a fourth down tries to hit the goalpost and throws it to nobody. It's like, Russ, do you want to win this game, or you just want to end the game because it's late? Like,
Dianna,
what are we doing here?
What is more likely to be eradicated next season in rule changes, the tush push or guys running around just punching people to get the football out?
Yeah, I think the tush push. Look, this thing came 2 votes away from getting banned to begin with. And there's enough people in the league office that don't like the play. And now the fact that it's being poorly officiated, I just think that the momentum is going to continue to build towards getting rid of it. And look, Jason Kelce had a killer of a speech at that league meeting where he literally saved the tush push. I talked to enough people that were in it of like, people that hate the tush push were like, they had goosebumps based off Jason Kelce's speech. That's how good it was. And I think it swung the vote. I think he changed the entire direction of the tush push just by being so passionate and honest about what it felt like to win and be part of this Eagles, I guess, dynasty that's about to be built here if they continue to win like this. But I have a hard time believing that there aren't going to be organizations in this offseason who are going to submit and say, look, we got to get rid of this thing. So we'll be talking about this all offseason again.
Dianna, before we move on from the good teams category, Colts, good, not buying it yet. Where do you stand?
I'm buying it, and I'm buying the Colts more than I'm buying Daniel Jones, right? Because I do think it's kind of 2 separate conversations. I think we're all waiting for Daniel to turn back into a pumpkin. But, you look at the way the team is built right now and set up. He's got protection. He's got a good run game. Jonathan Taylor is perhaps maybe the one of the more underrated running backs right now because he's always injured. So it's like we forgot about him. And then he's out there and you're like, wow, this guy's Saquon Barkley. And they've got a great defense. And you got Lou Anarumo as the coordinator there. So, look, maybe Daniel Jones doesn't have to be perfect every game. And that may be okay. That may be good enough for the Colts, which, guys, I did not see this coming at all. I heard some good things in the summer, but you know how it is. Like, everyone thinks everyone's good in August. But, people kept saying to me, like, Daniel can play. Like, he's good. Like, our defense. And I'm like, yeah, we'll see. Well, we're seeing. And so is that punter who's not doing much.
Put it on the poll, please. Are we all waiting around for Daniel to turn into a pumpkin at Le Batard Show?
Dianna, is CJ Stroud any good? What is going on with Houston?
It's a good question. I'm writing about it this week. CJ Stroud is really good. I think they are still trying to figure themselves out on offense. They have a new play caller. They have a different looking offensive line. I still think they're working some kinks out. So he's still good. I'm not on this. I'm not in the camp of he's ruining his opportunity here to get some mega extension. I still think CJ Stroud can play. I just think there's still a lot of work to be done, and there's some things going on behind the scenes that I think we're going to find out about soon.
I want to go back to the Giants for a moment here, Dianna. Obviously, they're talking about whether it should be Jackson Dart this week. But if they didn't start Jackson Dart at the beginning of the season, I would assume it's because they don't believe he's ready. Should that mindset change just because Russell Wilson stinks?
No, because I don't believe the Giants didn't think he was ready. I don't think it was about that. In fact, everything that we've been reporting has been they think he's ready. They like him. He's been able to understand what he needs to do, and the moment's not too big for him. He's comfortable in Brian Daboll's offense. Their personalities click really well. Initially, I was told that Russell Wilson was just beating him out slightly in camp. That's what it came down to, that Russell was just doing a better job with the offense. And they did want to give Jackson a little bit of time here to adjust to the NFL, get him more reps. And they're, Jackson and Jameis Winston too, just themselves outside of just taking those second and third team reps. They stay after practice. They run through the scripts. They're doing a lot outside of just the regular practice to get Jackson Dart ready. And I know the Giants have felt really good about him. It's just been about the right moment and the right time. And we'll see if they think it's against the Chargers. I mean, I don't know. Zaz, do you think that they should?
Don't do it. Don't do it against the Chargers. That's ridiculous. Why would you do that? That's silly. Don't do that.
I would wait a week. Dianna, Dad says Shedeur Sanders is ready to start. What are you hearing about the Cleveland situation?
Wait, Dan's? You think Shedeur
No,
Sanders?
no, Dad.
Dad. For
Dad
some
does.
reason, he called Dion Dad.
Well, Dad Sanders.
It's his dad.
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
it's
Dad's
Shedor's dad.
His father's Deion Sanders.
Chris called Dan dad in the break.
That's right. Yeah, he did. I thought everybody knew that.
He did. I asked who was on the show. He said Greg Cody, Dad, and I was like,
I meant Dan.
I thought I said Dad.
You did.
You
say
did.
Now
Dad.
you're
I
confused.
Keep up,
did say
Dad.
that. Is Shedeur
Oh, boy.
Sanders?
Stop confusing the old man, guys.
Mom, can you
Stop.
answer the question
here's
for the
thing.
dads here?
I'm always
Sure
so
thing.
confused that there was a second there where I was like, wait, you're telling me this entire time I thought Greg Cody was Chris Cody's dad and Dan Le Batard was the dad? Like,
I'm Chris
I
Le
did
Batard.
not get the show at all.
Dan would look very good for his age if he was my dad.
Oh my God, Dad, keep up, dude.
What?
Is that for Dan
You're
or
just
Greg?
really lost right now.
lost.
Would you like to
No,
answer the
no,
question,
I'm waiting
Diana?
for an answer.
Greg, Dad,
Thank you.
I know Dad thinks that his son is ready, but I don't think Cody is ready to host a show. Chris is just not prepared and, ready to do all this.
You did this, Greg.
But so
She's avoiding the question.
Shedeur
is what's
Sanders,
happening.
the quarterback
Oh, no, I'm not
situation
avoiding this
in
one.
Cleveland.
It's not happening.
It's not.
It's not happening. He is not ready. This has been like the most consistent information shared for a while, that he's just continuing to learn how to be an NFL quarterback. This is not a player who stepped into the league with all this experience playing at a high level, who's coming out like we just talked about Jackson Dart. There's a significant difference between Jackson Dart and Shedeur Sanders for right now. Shedeur Sanders is very talented. We've seen it. He's just not ready. And he's not going to be ready against some of the defenses that they've got coming up here on the schedule. So, no. I love Deion's belief in his son, and he probably should continue to stand by him and say those things, but that's just not the truth.
Chris Cody, I think we can catch Dianna Russini in some bad math, because I believe she'd be willing to give us more than 8 good teams if you start quizzing her with your list of good teams, if she's throwing the Colts and the Chiefs into the good teams, because she's going to have more than 6 more.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that I thought the Chiefs were good. You asked me if I was
Pretty sure you did.
about that.
I'm pretty sure you did say the Chiefs were one of the good teams. Yeah. But regardless, let's go ahead and do this.
Well, if she added the Colts, so I put the Colts on here. So now I have a list of 13 teams here, and you tell me who's not good
It's
here.
almost half the league.
All right, let's play the game. Tell me. I'm going to read all. I'm going to
Closer
rattle
to a
through
third,
them,
but whatever.
and you tell me who's not good from this list. Ready? Rams, 49ers, Bucks, Packers, Vikings, Lions, Eagles, Commanders, Chargers, Chiefs, Ravens, Bills, Colts.
They're all very good.
Okay.
Whoa, what
Very
just
good.
happened there now? Okay, Dianna, I'm going to need you to do better math or choose your words better.
I'm good. I'm going to write down the teams that I think are the best in football right now.
I like
Okay.
it.
I don't think the Commanders are the best in football right now. I don't think the Bucks are the best in football right now.
Whoa. You need to be careful.
No, she doesn't.
The Bucks defense
So good.
Cuidado.
against the Jets, they were not very good considering. They're also dealing with injuries. We have to see how that situation. I'm trying to compute everything here. For right now, I've got the Eagles, the Bills, the Chargers, the Ravens, the Packers, the Lions, and the Rams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Now the Colts aren't good unless you want to make them your 8th.
I'll make them my 8th just because you're driving me nuts. All
Okay,
right.
are those teams capable of winning the Super Bowl? Is that your list?
So, well, you guys keep changing how what is the game?
The game is who's capable of winning the Super Bowl. What
That is
team?
not
game
the
was who's
game.
good.
No, it's
Until-
not. That's not the game.
Until you answer the question, then we'll change the question.
Like, is the game, is it who's good on September 23rd, or is it who's going to win the Super Bowl?
Who's capable of winning
Okay.
the Super Bowl?
on September 23rd or the end of the year?
Just right now, who
If
do
the
you
Super
think
Bowl
is
was
capable?
today, Diana, if the
Okay.
Super Bowl was September 24th, who would win?
Thank you, Dad. I'm going to stick with those 8.
Speed up the.
Chargers, Ravens, Packers, Bills, Eagles, Rams, Lions, Colts.
Who's she missing? Who's she missing there?
I took out the Bucks. I took out the Commanders, and
Packers, Rams?
I have them in there.
All right, my bad.
She took out Vikings.
49ers.
I took out the Vikings.
She took out the 49ers too, I think.
I took
right?
out the 49ers.
Mac
Yep.
Jones keeping them afloat.
Took out the Dolphins.
Bosa's out for the year. Everyone's hurt. Everyone's always hurt. What are they doing out there?
They're doing a violent thing that injures people.
Mac Jones's jersey was ripped from like one side of his sleeve all the way to the other, which is flailing around.
And then that happened to Hopkins
No, but
last night.
don't you just? I just feel like every Monday I'm tweeting about the 49. I don't know. I just they are the most injured team right now, and I feel bad because they could be really good. They've got superstars on that team, but they're not out there.
We're going to speed her up now and get as much football information as we possibly can. So let's begin. The Vikings quarterback situation. What do you have there?
Well, it continues to be Carson Wentz. They love the guy. He had a week of practice that blew them away. They were energized by him. I don't think they need him to be the savior. If he just listens to Kevin O'Connell and that defense plays the way they do, they're going to be just fine.
Tony, what are you making faces
Blew
at?
them away on 1 week. It's Carson Wentz. I mean, I get he probably had a good week of practice. Blown away is strong.
No, I felt the same way when I was talking to people there of like, what are we talking about here? This is Carson Wentz. But look, you're not really being asked to do too much when you're in Minnesota based on that roster and what they bring and the way they can coach their quarterbacks. I think Kevin O'Connell has proven that. I do think the question that remains, and they're going to tell you no, and we'll take their word for it, but it will be interesting to see. What if they go over to Europe and Carson Wentz is really good and JJ McCarthy's coming back and now he's got this high ankle sprain? Like, what do you immediately go back to JJ, or do you let Carson ride it out if it's working? I think that's going to be an interesting topic when they get back, if they're winning.
3 weeks, not much from Travis Hunter yet. What say you?
I just don't know if they know how to use him, right? Like, think back to when he was in college. He popped the second he was on the scene. He's not popping at all. I actually wrote about it this past weekend, and it just, I think they need to either, instead of worrying so much about playing on both sides of the ball, they need to just put him in the best position where he can be his best. And based on what I'm seeing, put him on offense. Just let him be a receiver and make some things happen. Because when him and Trevor Lawrence are making it work, he can be dynamic.
He
There's
can't
not
drop
choice
the
there.
ball as much as their other receivers do.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there with that. Look, maybe they just have the yips. I'm not sure how that works, but that's not good. There's been a lot of drops though. That's September. Like, everyone's dropping. How many fumbles do the Patriots have? I mean, inside the 5-yard line.
That was
twice?
wild.
That was 5 turnovers. That was horrendous.
Diana, to stick on the Jags really quick, I know this might be a little bit inside baseball, and I know you probably have some good relationships with people inside the Jacksonville organization, but I want to say something that is on me, not on you, just so it gets out there, just in case you can have your stuff covered. Shane Waldron sucks. He's been terrible everywhere he's gone, yet continues to get jobs. In Seattle, sucked.
Is that the OC for people?
He's
that...
a passing game coordinator now. Yeah. Seattle, sucked. Chicago, sucked. Now all of a sudden he comes to Jacksonville, they suck. What's the issue?
I don't know what his issue is, Tony, but Liam Cohen runs the offense. So you can say what you want. Liam's not letting anything happen without his sign-off. So, yeah, maybe Shane Waldron hasn't proven to us that he's elite, but he must be doing something to make Liam feel good. If he's keeping him on the staff, but just remember who's running the show there. So any issue that you have with the passing game, you got to put that on the head coach.
It's a curse.
Is Caleb Williams turning the corner?
Yes. I don't think people want to be patient with him, but you can see a difference every single week. We just saw it. I just think his own patience in the pocket, this offensive line, where they can protect him and give him a few extra seconds, I think this is where we can see him be really good. He's another quarterback who's growing from being a college-type quarterback to being a professional, and we're seeing the improvements every single week. I think everyone in Chicago should be psyched for what they're seeing from Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. And it's only September.
How bad are the Dolphins, and can they recover to be 500?
They're bad. No.
Perfect.
That's the way you do it. Isaiah Rodgers, when's the last time you saw a defensive game like that?
Great. I had a conversation with the head coach this morning about that. He literally said that might be the best defensive performance I've ever seen in my life, and this person's in his 40s. So, I'd agree with that sentiment too. That was tremendous, which is going back to the Vikings. That's all they need.
If the Dolphins lose at home on Monday Night Football to the winless Jets, is Mike McDaniel the coach the next week?
I don't know. They know they've got a problem there. I just don't think they're being very quick to pull the trigger here. They may be willing to stick with him through the season, depending on how this goes.
Who's a team that's not on your list that's a sneaky team that in a couple weeks people are going to be like, oh, wait a second, this team is looking really good?
The Commanders.
Oh, that's cheating.
They were on your list already.
No, but that's
they weren't.
No, they weren't on her
On the
list.
very good list. She had two lists. She had a 13-team list that was very good.
I have a September 23rd good list. I have a Super Bowl list. And I have if you had to rob a store with a team list, which team would you want to rob a store with?
Ooh, let's the Lions. I think I'd go in with their
Yeah.
Good protection.
Because they're liars?
Their offensive
What?
and defensive.
The Lions.
line.
No, he's saying
Good
we'd
joke
go
by
in with
Dan.
the Lions. Which, if you had to
Why
go
wouldn't you
rob
pick the
a store
Steelers?
with a roster, who would it be? Oh, yeah.
Good question for Dan.
How do you feel about Baker Mayfield's nickname, 2-Minute Mayfield?
I love it. Someone there was like, isn't he like Clint Eastwood? I'm like, are you 90? Like, don't you think we can have a better comp to Baker Mayfield than Clint Eastwood?
2-Minute Mayfield, I don't love that as a
Just
nickname.
going to go on the record. I wouldn't love 2-Minute Taché as a
Ooh, that's a good one.
nickname.
I like that one.
2-Minute anything. Not my favorite nickname as a guy.
2-Minute Mayfield.
2 minutes. 2 minutes, fine.
Long 2
Yeah,
minutes.
true.
I don't mind it.
Don't mind it. I'm busy. Got things to do.
Zagak.
The Tampa Bay Bucks are also very injured. What do you do with the Tampa Bay Bucks?
You get them healthy.
Steelers would have been the way to go.
No, but Dan, did you hear what Chris said? The Lions because they're liars.
Steelers, people that steal are lying. I hope you guys know that.
But what does that have to do with the Lions?
Dan said Lions!
Who said Steelers, though? Who was
Billy.
that?
That was
Who
Billy.
would?
That was Billy.
Billy.
Yeah, Steelers
I
is
mean-
good. Yeah, Steelers.
I mean, what a bunch of dummies we are. We're like, me and Dan are like, yeah, we'll take the Lions. They're tough up front. They'll get those racers. Idiots. You're friggin' dummies.
Yeah, that Steelers is better
lying.
than that. The stretch of Eagles football that we've gotten, winning 19 of 20 games, no matter how fluky this last one was, I think of them as front runners. I don't think of them as the team that can come from behind, but obviously they did against a very good team.
Yeah, they still haven't played their best football yet. And look, they're still working out those kinks a little bit. They got a new OC. What I'm observing, though, is they haven't played their best. And it's so obvious when they give the ball to the superstars, especially when the run game's getting shut down, right? Because every team is throwing 8 in the box to stop Saquon. Just throw the ball to AJ. Throw it to Devonta. Like every time. And it will work. So I think their game plan is probably going to get tweaked over the next few weeks because it's pretty evident that they will win games if they just use their receivers. So I just like the fact that they never panic. That's my favorite part about this Philadelphia Eagles team. They don't ever... I mean, the person sitting next to me watching the game is losing his mind, but that team doesn't. Like, they're just hanging out. They know they'll figure it out.
Tony, why are you laughing at the back of Chris Cody's head while hiding behind your microphone? It seems like you feel bad for Chris Cody.
It's a good joke by me, actually.
It was a good joke.
There was just a better one out there.
I understand what the math he was doing, right? The mental math is you ain't lying, because his dad always says that joke about liars. He heard lying, and then all of a sudden he's like, because they're liars. And it's like,
Greg Cody's algorithm, I don't know what Diana's algorithm is, but Greg Cody's algorithm is filled with lions. He loves watching he loves watching lions.
I wrote the book.
Win a fight. He doesn't like lions losing a fight, but he has an algorithm that's filled with lions winning fights.
Oh yeah, lion in the wild, man. If it's chasing down an antelope, and jumping on an antelope and bringing down an animal twice its size and killing it with a bite to the neck in a matter of seconds, turn on. Woo!
Everyone knows a mile.
What?
Wow.
Turn on?
Turn
on?
on?
It's a turn
Turn
on.
on? Those make me sad.
It's the wild.
Dad,
Things happen in the wild.
Don't admit that.
Turn on?
Things happen in the
You
wild,
just
man.
admitted something weird.
You said it's a turn on?
Well,
So your
I don't
algorithm
mean
is
sexually.
What is-
I mean, where are you?
What other
where
turn-ons
does
do
your
we
mind
have?
Go?
Go ahead. Define turn on.
turn on. Go
It
ahead.
excites me, but not sexually.
2 Minute Mayfield over here.
Ridiculous.
Diana, have you ever wanted news to break at a different time more than you do right now?
2 Minute Cody,
Yeah.
which one?
which I think would be good for him.
I mean, animals in the wild kill each other. I mean, I hate to
And it turns you on.
It excites me when I see a lion. I wrote a book about a lion.
Revelation.
And
What do you feel? Like, does blood pump through your body?
Yeah.
it's exciting to see.
It fires you up, Greg. That's what you should have said. It fires me
it
up.
fires me up. It's exciting to see the power and majesty of the king of the jungle in action. And it's good.
Isn't it usually the lionesses?
But you don't want to watch, for example, a lion can rarely bring down a giraffe. Lions, there are a lot of videos out there of lions trying to bring down a giraffe.
The giraffes
and,
whip
and
that neck
failing.
around.
Yeah,
Well, they
giraffes
just,
can kick you and kill you.
No, it's the whip with the neck they do.
it's the whole
that,
thing.
That too. And
Why are their tongues purple?
Good question.
That's a very good question. Where's McGill when you need him? I don't know.
What is your algorithm, Diana? What would we find if we were snooping around in your algorithm and it was producing? It'd be a lot of football, wouldn't it?
No, turf toe surgeries. I fell down a wormhole. That's the worst, right? Like
Two
one
Americas.
thing makes you curious, and then you're stuck looking at it. And I'm like, I'm past it. We moved past the turf toe surgery, but it's still on my thing. I don't know. I do like a lot of fitness things, hot chicks, like just random things that I just find entertaining and boring.
I got that.
Not animals though.
I got that good algorithm.
Giraffe tongues are purple because they are rich in melanin, a pigment that provides protection from sunburn while they feed on high tree branches exposed to the harsh sun.
Amazing that you know that off the top of your head. You're a real expert,
incredible.
Billy. Diana.
Why are flamingos pink?
Oh, it's because what they eat.
The shrimp.
It's the shrimp.
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 Yeah.
Diana, has Joey been behaving?
No. Joey's had a rough couple days. So I was stuck with him the other day, and look,
Stuck with him.
Whoa.
just basically what happens sometimes is in between. There's like a good hour where before my help comes here, I have an hour with Joey, and I just need him to hang out and play trains, or with his eggs. But he was not in the mood. So I just gave him Gatorade, which you shouldn't give kids Gatorade. They're babies.
Nah,
like,
it's
he's
fine.
too little for it. But I was like, here, Gatorade, take it. And he's like, ooh. I did not know that fruit punch red Gatorade will stain your couches and carpet.
Everything.
Everything. Is there anything worse than that? I can't get it out now. So Joey just dumped it. So now our living room is destroyed. I tried all of it. Like, what is the secret to getting a stain out? I don't know.
Put it on the poll, please, at Le Batard Show. Worst stain, red wine or fruit punch Gatorade? I was not aware that fruit punch Gatorade would be dangerous, but it makes sense
brutal.
that it would be dangerous.
It's not good. I tried the club soda. I tried all the carpet remover.
Did you blot?
I blotted.
Did Joey show any remorse?
Oh no, not at all. He doesn't have a lot of empathy. I've noticed this, actually. It's a problem. Like, he doesn't feel bad if I'm like, Joey, not a bad boy, or you're being a bad boy. And he just, like, smiles like, yeah, I know.
How old is he now?
Lady. He's 2.
There are no
He'll be
bad
next
boys. There's just bad choices. Diana.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard.
Is that what you
use? Is a 2-year-old capable of empathy? Because I believe you're asking too much of Joey there.
Yeah, terrible twos.
So tell me about have you guys tried the Gatorades in the can?
Yeah,
The
they're great.
throwbacks?
Back in the day. I haven't recently, but I used to love them.
Chris, they're back. So I just ordered
Jack.
a case of them. Why is Gatorade better in a can than in a bottle?
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Is Gatorade better in a can than a bottle? To me, it feels like sacrilege to have it out of a can. It feels wrong. I'm not saying it
old school. I love
tastes
it.
wrong, but it feels wrong.
It tastes
right.
good. I felt unfulfilled when I had it because it was only 12 ounces. So like I was at the zoo and that's how they had it. So I bought a Gator
That's
in a
how-
can. I chugged it and it was gone way too quick.
Like Stone
Billy,
Cold Steve Austin.
Literally, that is how I knew the cans were back. I was at the zoo with the boys, and it must be a zoo thing. And I got a can of the green lime or the lemon lime, and I was like, this is the most delicious thing. But I was just thinking in my mind when I was drinking it, is it because of the nostalgia that we grew up with canned Gatorade, or is it just actually better? And I've had a bottled Gatorade since. Not as good.
I think
It's
it
just,
feels colder too. Like it tastes colder, if that makes sense.
yes.
The best was when the Gatorade was in like the big glass.
That's the best way
jar.
to drink it.
That's the
Yeah.
best. It was in like that
We're
glass
too young for that.
jar.
We don't know what you're talking about.
At Le Batard Show, does it feel wrong to drink Gatorade out of a can? Yes or no? Because I believe that's going to come back with a lot of yes on it, even though you guys are saying that it tastes better that way. Diana, good talking to you. Thank you for being on the show. Good seeing you again. Check out her work at The Athletic. She also writes. She's not out here just gas bagging. She's writing things that a lot of people are reading. It's nice to see you, young lady.
Yes, writing this list of good teams today.
There it is. Good teams today. That's good use of your time right there.
Buccaneers would have been better than Lions, too.
But, I mean,
You ain't lying.
also Titans would have been
Oh,
good.
Pirates.
just because-
Pirates, Buccaneers.
Pirates,
Yeah, they steal treasure.
Yeah.
You guys are good at these.
Well, I just went with a bunch of offensive linemen that are really
I-
physical. I
And
feel
we
so
missed
bad.
the whole thing. You and I are the
I
morons.
stink.
On this episode of Alley Oop, first of all, go to our YouTube page, DLS Hoops. Juju right now, it's unrivaled season for him. The WNBA playoffs don't even exist. Look at him right there. Mend these broken wings. Let me fly again. Hey, go to our YouTube page. This Tuesday, it's dropping.
This show is sponsored by Liquid IV. Don't let the grind drain you. Ditch the glitch with zero sugar and zero crash from Liquid IV. Tear, pour, live more. Go to liquidiv.com and get 20% off your first order with code Dan at checkout. That's 20% off your first order with code Dan at liquidiv.com. It's energy that hits different, balanced, steady, and smooth. Thanks to the L-theanine, the caffeine. It's called caffeine. I say caffeine. Zero sugar, 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink, plus 5 essential vitamins. They got strawberry, kiwi, blackberry lemonade. I keep it with me all the time. Go to the gym, when you travel, when you work, because it's simple. Tear, pour, mix, you're good.
Put it on the poll, please, Juju. Is 2-Minute Mayfield a good nickname, yes or no? Greg Cody shocked us during the break. He is 70 years old, and he informed us he's never had Gatorade.
I don't get it, man. Like when you were doing something athletic over the last 40 years.
Yeah, ever heard of water?
Okay,
That is rich coming from you. I can't get you to drink water. All you drink is Diet Coke and coffee, Diet Coke, and beer.
Okay,
That's what you drink.
I have cut out Diet Coke to a large extent. Mostly it's just not coffee and beer.
Good.
Okay, so don't get that wrong.
Yeah.
But Gatorade's also a billion-dollar business. Like you can't say, oh, but what
Yeah.
about water?
Yeah.
People are drinking Gatorade.
I know, it's a billion-dollar business despite no business for me. Look, if I had a Gatorade drink when I was 17, I don't remember it. I've never been a Gatorade drinker. To my knowledge, to my memory, I have never had a Gatorade. Why is that weird?
I do think it's odd. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Is it strange for a 70-year-old man to say he's never once tasted Gatorade?
I mean, but Gatorade was introduced in 1965.
Yeah.
You would assume if it was introduced in 1965, it wasn't very widespread, and it wasn't like around the nation where every store had it and every athlete was drinking it. So it's possible that Greg's age of athleticism was prior to the dominance of Gatorade.
It's just hard to believe that someone who's 497 in dog years has never had Gatorade.
Well, he told us earlier he's never sweat. He doesn't sweat anymore.
He
So
gave it up.
Well, then you
Gatorade-
don't need it.
So why would I? Yeah, I
Exactly.
mean,
Lucy was shocked. Lucy was shocked. She made the face that Lucy made when she learned that you've never tasted Gatorade was a combination of horror and surprise.
Yeah, the others, they all learn from me. But doesn't Gatorade have sugar? Mm-hmm. Okay, so congratulate me. Why would I drink a bunch of sugar?
Have you had Powerade?
No. God,
Have you had
no.
Four Loko?
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Lucy, what are your thoughts here?
That's crazy. Actually, I have like a different takeaway. How did you stop drinking Diet Coke? I'm like addicted and like a little worried about how much I need Diet Coke.
I used to drink a ton of it. Actually,
It was your coffee at one point. Did you not drink coffee at one point? Because I just remember you like in the morning, like Diet Coke cans everywhere.
I would drink a Diet Coke the minute I got up. It was my coffee for a time.
Before you brush your teeth or after?
Probably after. But here's the thing. I give Chris Cody credit. I think you were in high school at the time.
Back when all the news was coming out of how bad Diet Coke was for you, I gave my dad a lot of shit about it.
And he actually convinced me to wean myself off of Diet Coke.
Now he drinks 7 cups of coffee.
Yeah, and then beer because it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Miller Lite.
You know, I'm drinking coffee all afternoon. It's ridiculous. I'm drinking coffee at 4:30.
But Gatorade, have you ever heard of water?
Yeah, he did
Well,
hit you with that.
I mean,
at Le Batard Show.
no sugar in water.
At Le Batard Show, is it disgusting to drink Diet Coke for breakfast? Lucy, we were talking college football here before you came on, and I was saying that very few teams have anybody they've actually beaten. It's a criticism you can file on just about anybody. And the team that I saw this weekend that was the best was Texas Tech. I was floored that Will Hammond is better than their starting quarterback. Their backup quarterback looked a good deal better than their starter.
No, and that's crazy because Baron Morton was like one of the leading passers in the FBS last year. Texas Tech is the most like just obvious example of if you spend money, good things will happen to you. And Texas Tech is in a much better position than most schools because they have Texas money, oil donors, and they're able to do that. But this was such a clear example of, okay, they went out over the market during the offseason, bought a new defensive coordinator, bought a new defense, and they looked really, really good. They are a tough team to compete with in the Big 12, and I know the Big 12 is crazy right now, but Texas Tech, man, that's a life lesson. Spend a lot of money, be rich, good things will happen to you.
Can you see a scenario where the Big 12 gets multiple teams in the playoff?
No, because I think the Big 12 will cannibalize itself. Right now, if I had to look at the Big 12 and say, okay, here are two teams I think could make it in, it would be Texas Tech and Iowa State. But like Dan mentioned earlier, you look at Iowa State and you're like, okay, well, that Kansas State win, that was supposed to be really good. That's not that good. That Iowa win, that's not that good. The Big 12 just does this thing every year where they just completely they're parasitic of one another. And so I think we'll only get one team in the Big 12. And I think it's going to be Texas Tech specifically because they have a very easy schedule.
For those listening who have never been to Texas Tech, it is all tumbleweed. They are buying softball players as well. Explain to me how it is. It's just oil money? Texas Tech is now going to be serious about athletics that spends in a way that's, Texas gets everything and everyone they want. Texas Tech is in that game?
Yeah, so they have one rich donor. I can't remember exactly what he does, but he has more money than any person ever needs. And he's like, you know what? I'm just going to spend it on the Red Raiders. Let's go. And that's fine. If that's what you want to spend your money on, hell yeah. So they just have a small group of incredibly rich alumni and fans who are spending money on this, and it's clearly working.
Lucy, how good is John Mateer?
I think John Mateer is really good. I think right now he kind of feels like the Heisman favorite, but my takeaway from that Oklahoma-Auburn game was, oh man, Auburn can't give up 10 sacks. Can't give up 10 sacks in one game. That's not good. Also, my takeaway from this was I think Oklahoma made the right call in moving on from Jackson Arnold. He's had a couple moments this season. I thought that Baylor game was pretty good, and he really showed off how he can use his legs. But it's very clear that Oklahoma has upgraded at the quarterback position, and Auburn is still an incredibly stupid football team.
Lucy, that was a record for Oklahoma for sacks, and I honestly thought it was a lot more than 10. They had 8 at the half, and I think the statistician got some numbers wrong. I really felt like there were more sacks in the second half than there were in the first.
I think so much of it was I don't know. Auburn was supposed to have a pretty decent offensive line coming into this season. Jackson Arnold would just sit there and he'd just take his sweet time. He's reminiscent on the old days. He's like, oh my God, do you remember when I was back here in Norman? And then bam, he would get hit. And the thing about those sacks is a lot of them were mean, nasty, hate-filled. We remember what you did to our team sacks. It was physical things I've ever seen.
Wisconsin this weekend, I was expecting more out of Wisconsin. How and why? And I don't very often expect anything out of Wisconsin. Why is Wisconsin so bad?
Dude, the Wisconsin is such a fascinating team. One, they are kind of the reverse of Texas Tech, where in this day in NIL, they haven't really spent the money. They haven't been a team that's really increased the money they're putting into their football program. So a few years back when they made that Luke Fickell hire, which we all thought was an amazing hire, we all thought that was phenomenal and going to be one of the best sort of hires of that offseason. Luke Fickell came in and said, you know what I'm going to do, guys? You know what I'm going to do? The air raid at Wisconsin. Hope you like it. And everyone was like, are you sure? Is that a good idea? Are you really 100% confident in that? And so they completely destroyed their offense, ruined the entire identity of that football team, which always has had a strong identity. Wisconsin has always been a good football team. They've always been great defense, run the ball. And then Luke Fickell came, blew the whole thing up. And now they are a truly terrible football team because they completely tried to change their identity. They're trying to change it back. And in the meantime, I know this is not a good example after what happened this weekend, but Brett Bielema, Illinois, Iowa, these schools have gone in and taken those guys that Wisconsin used to get, and they are a completely lost football program. Luke Fickell got a weird 1-year extension in the offseason, but I don't foresee Wisconsin winning another game this season with how bad they are.
Speaking of Illinois, can you still be ranked when you lose by 50?
Shouldn't be. That was the ass kicking of all ass kickings. It was such a statement win, which a lot of people were like, oh my God, it's Kurt Signetti trying to be screw you to Brett Bielema just because they both have really big personalities. But I think Indiana has taken this sort of you didn't belong in the playoff conversation kind of personally. Okay, we'll rank you again this season, but you're going to be in the 20 range because we really don't believe in. That was just insane. Illinois never should have been a top 10 team ever. That was a team that won a lot of games last year, but they won a lot of games by they needed like 5 fourth quarter comebacks. They were just getting really lucky in a lot of situations. Illinois is a fine football team, but I think Indiana is a really, really good one.
Lucy, we were debating whether Miami or Florida State has really proven themselves yet. How do you see that 2 versus 8 matchup in Tallahassee turning out?
It's Miami's in such a weird spot because like it's kind of with the way the ACC is played out with like SMU is probably not as good as they once were. Clemson is not very good. It's kind of like a 1-game season right now at this point for Miami because they've proven that with their like improvements on defense, the chance of them blowing a dumb game is always there. It always exists. But I don't think it's as likely. So, like, this game means a lot. Right now, I have to lean with Miami. I just think that they are, like, top 3 most talented team in the country. Carson Beck, he's not winning games, but he's not losing games. You have a defense that has really, really improved. Like, they're just a really sound football team. And I still feel like we're early enough in the season where I don't really know how good everybody is. Like, I don't know how good Alabama is, so I don't really know how good Florida State is. But I feel pretty confident that I know Miami is very, very good.
Nebraska, incidentally, is now 0-29 in their last 29 games against ranked opponents. Wow. They haven't won. They have not won a game against a ranked opponent in 10 years. Wow.
It is awesome. They are the funniest football team. They haven't had like a positive turnover margin since like 2016. I don't know what. True. No, it 100%.
Oh, you mean for the season, or I just thought you meant
like
in
for the
a
season.
Game. Okay, I thought you meant in a game. I'm like
that. Honestly, as far as I know, it's the season, but that might be possible with just how unlucky that football team is. And during that game, when that Hail Mary hit, I was like, oh my God, this is it. This is the turning of the tide. The Nebraska is now going to be a lucky football team. They've put up with 10 years of this crap to finally, have things go their way. And then, of course, it all went downhill. They gave up a ton of chunk run plays to Michigan. That is just like a team that I don't know what they did. I don't know what God they pissed off, but there is something like fundamentally cursed about Nebraska football.
Lucy, your guess right now, which conference would have the most playoff teams and how many?
I think that the SEC will have the most playoff teams, not because I think they deserve to have the most playoff teams, but because I think that's just the way things roll. I think the Big Ten is the better conference. I think there are more like playoff contenders within there. So what? There's 12 teams in the playoff, 5 automatic bids. I think it'll probably be 4 SEC teams, not counting the automatic bids.
Anything else stand out from the weekend for you? I thought the best game was Arkansas-Memphis.
Arkansas-Memphis was stupid. And we're actually going to Arkansas next week, this weekend, which is exciting. Woo pig suey. Arkansas, that is like Arkansas and Nebraska are in the same kind of boat with me. If they're both like just incredibly cursed programs across the board. Like that punch out, it just only would happen to Arkansas. I do want to talk about something that's completely un-college football related if you guys want it.
Sure, but first let's show you and listen to Michigan's interim coach, Biff, after
Hold on, no, we don't have that yet. They're having technical issues.
Okay, let's not do that then. Let's go to what it is that Lucy was saying then. Let's do that.
Apparently, TikTok has told me that today is the rapture.
I heard about that yesterday.
Yeah!
It snuck up on us again.
I can't wait.
It's
Every
crazy.
rapture, I never know about it.
And I got some tips from some of the rapture people. So, don't wear skirts. Don't wear skirts because you're going to float up, and you don't want your skirt to float up. That would be embarrassing.
I don't know. If you're getting called up for the rapture, do you actually care about the skirt at that point?
Well, because all the people who didn't get called up for the rapture, they're going to be below, and they're going to be looking up.
Right.
And you're like, oh, you don't want to see that. And number 2, don't grab onto anything because you're going to go around in the air. We're all getting prepped for it in different ways. But those are the tips I have to give you guys. Happy rapture. I won't see you next week.
Speaking of TikTok, me and Jeremy wanted to start a new segment called The Internet Can Be Fun Sometimes. And this is a guy doing onside kicks in his kitchen. I'm sure he's doing this on the first take. I'm sure this isn't multiple takes where he just edits it together, but it is just adorable.
Who cares? It's the coolest. He's doing onside kicks into all sorts of different stuff, and he's really good at it. It's really nice. Sometimes the internet can be great. Not a great place these days, but sometimes it could be great.
That's very cool. He's definitely getting called up for the rapture.
I was just going to ask you if you could judge who's going to survive the rapture and who would
I'm
not.
not.
You would not?
I'll be here.
I don't think I'm going to get called up because I only found out about the rapture 2 days ago. And I feel like you would have to know about it ahead of time to get called up for the rapture. But I think that guy's going to make it for sure because he just has talent. And I think that God wants the talent.
I would think that the people that get called up for the Rapture are surprised by it so that they don't have enough time to try to do like fake preparation to trick God, you know? So like you're probably in a good like position here to get called up because God knows you're not now doing like these false nice things just to survive the Rapture.
Oh, that is a good point. But then I feel like I have subconsciously over the last 2 days tried to be a nicer person. Because I want to go. Here's the thing. I don't know if I want to go up to the Rapture.
Does it depend
I
on
don't
who
like
goes
heights.
up? Like, do you need
It
to...
depends on who goes up. I don't like the idea of floating through the air. That makes me uncomfortable. I don't like the lack of control. Also, I want to bring my stuff.
You don't zip line or anything? You won't do anything up in the air that is adventurous?
I mean, I take a flight to a different college town every week.
Not adventurous.
Oh. Depends on how you look at it.
Wait, we ziplined together in Las Vegas.
That was the worst thing I've ever done with this show.
Dude, Lucy was honestly the bravest of the bunch when we were ziplining. Like, if she looked over at me and Chris and she's like, what the hell's wrong with these people? Because we were like, can we go? Because they kept us strapped to the thing for honestly like a good 20 minutes because the camera crew
I would have said
wasn't
an
ready.
hour.
They
I
were
felt
about
like-
to unstrap us and then have other people go because it took the camera crew so long to set up on the other side.
I have never been more of a diva. I was just like, this is ridiculous. Yeah. I've been dangling up here for 20 minutes.
Yeah, and it was raining. It was a whole thing. How are you in caves?
Yeah.
Oh, no, absolutely
Wait, so hold on a second. Like, you have to decide, like, at heaven or hell. Do you want to be, like, in the caves of hell, or do you want to be in the heights of heaven?
Maybe there's a third option.
Oh,
a third
purgatory.
I thought the Rapture was just everybody else goes up and the rest of us stay here. Like, traffic's going to clear up. I'm definitely not going up for the Rapture. I'm actively celebrating Rosh Hashanah, so they're not going to call me up. But ultimately, like, there will be some benefits for us if we're still staying here
Less
on Earth.
traffic.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it'll be nice to drive into work. And I got to imagine there's still some of us who are going to be here. I mean, let's be real.
Lucy, Bruce Pearl getting called up for the Rapture?
Oh, Bruce Pearl is not getting called up. So, if you guys haven't heard, Bruce Pearl announced his retirement from college basketball. He's stepping down as the Auburn coach with a couple weeks left before the season starts, which is convenient because his son will now be taking over that program. I won't say anything about the timing, whatever. I'm sure it worked out really perfectly that Auburn would not have been able to find another head coach. So now it's his son, Steve. Bruce is...
hard.
Yeah, he does. He does. Steve does. Bruce, I don't know how to put this delicately. He's going to go into politics. He's pretty much said it, that he wants to run for a Senate seat or the Alabama governor seat, which is just the last thing we need. Like, that's why I'm really looking forward to the Rapture, because, like, it's just going to be done. And we don't even have to go through this Bruce Pearl, like, trying to be a politician phase. And he's already been loud with his opinions, and you can kind of guess which way those go. But I don't know what it is with Auburn coaches leaving their sport to become politicians, but it's got to stop. We got to knock it off.
He's going to be a Hall of Famer, right? Bruce Pearl?
Yeah. For sure. He's the leadingest or the winningest head coach in Auburn basketball history. He was really, really good there. Good enough that you're like, why don't you stay and not make everyone's lives worse?
Lucy, I've never heard this asked or answered before, but is Bruce Pearl any relation to Minnie Pearl?
Who's Minnie Pearl?
Greg, your questions today?
The comedian from the 50s and 60s?
Oh, yes. Minnie Pearl, who
Yeah.
I'm super, super familiar with. I believe they're cousins.
Nice.
I can
Thank
confirm
you.
that, yeah.
We're breaking news.
I don't believe they are. No, that's not confirmed. It's not accurate. I don't.
Steve
was
Pearl.
confirming.
Steve Pearl doesn't roll off the tongue like Bruce Pearl does.
She was on a TV show called Hee Haw.
Yes. It's all coming around. Yes.
Minnie Pearl was born in 1912.
Damn right she was.
Damn, she probably never had Gatorade either.
Yes. Well put.
We're going out to get Gatorade now so that Greg Cody can taste
We'll get
Gatorade.
him the zero sugar one.
No.
Yes, please.
Full experience.
Okay, never mind.
Lucy, you were at Rutgers this weekend. I could not believe that your Iowa offense, I assume they scored all 38 of the points. I was really confused by seeing Iowa and a 3 in front of their score without the 3 being just the only number. What happened there?
Well, first we ran back the opening kick, so special teams was a part of that. They just kept scoring. Rutgers' defense is insanely bad, so that's how Iowa was scoring points. And it turns out Iowa's defense might be bad. Something I want to talk about with Rutgers, it's one of the weirder game day experiences I've ever seen. One, they had the situation from Jersey Shore throwing out T-shirts.
Oh.
That was awesome.
He was so bad at it. He was throwing them all
he
like to the
wasn't
same
good.
3 people.
It wasn't good. And like I was an Iowa fan, obviously, and I was really sad because I was like, he's not gonna throw a t-shirt to me, but it was still very cool. Rutgers also has a petting zoo outside the stadium before games. Sure. Why not? And it was the highest attended game in Rutgers history, like 55,000 people. And there was one point in the game where they were just giving out free flat screen TVs. Like they had cheerleaders and the basketball coach going through the stands and giving people free flat screen TVs for going to a Rutgers game.
How do you hold that the rest of the game?
Oh, I know. That was my question. I didn't get one. And so they were like, okay, everyone in so we have one person in each section who gets a free TV. And me and my brother, so I took him, this was like his graduation gifts. Congrats on graduating, Jack. That we got front row tickets for like $50 on the Game Time app. So they are desperate for people to go to games. So they were like, yeah, we're just going to give out some TVs.
What is the most unwieldy thing that you could give someone that would be hard to get back to your car in the parking lot? Like a fridge? Like what? What are some of the things?
An anvil.
A
First
flat
microwave?
screen TV seems
animal.
hard.
And it was like in the student section. That's where the men's basketball coach was giving them out. And I was like, that has to be dangerous. Like someone's going to take that TV or they're going to jump on that TV or they're going to puke on that TV. And so I don't know the logistics of it, but I thought it was really cool.
We have Tony out in the field. We're going to get his top 5 in a second, but they've been kind enough to bring us 3 different Gatorades here. We have lemon lime, we have fruit punch, and we have orange.
First sip, you got to go
Those
orange.
are the classics,
You got to
Greg.
go orange.
Yeah.
First sip ever.
Go-to flavors.
First
do the
sip
red.
has to be.
Okay.
Wait a minute. First
No,
sip.
do red.
Lemon lime is
No,
the first
orange
sip.
has
no.
to be your
Do
first
the
sip of
red.
Gatorade.
What?
Red.
You think red is the first?
Wait,
well,
hold
but
on, Greg. I'm going to get you water to cleanse
is
your palate
everything
after.
going to
Yes,
get
thank
worse after he has the red? Shouldn't he start with the
Build
classic lemon lime?
I don't want to drink from all 3. That
Just
way
take
they're ruined.
first.
Let me drink-
First, take a sip. Wait, we're going to
Okay.
all stand here. We're going to watch here as
What
Greg
looks the
Cody.
best to you?
Which would you like to have first?
Okay, first of all, let me ask a question. Is this the one that ruined Dianna Russini's carpet?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, look, they all say on it, there's fruit punch, orange, and I believe lemon lime.
Put it on the poll, please, at Le Batard Show. Best Gatorade flavor, lemon lime, orange, or fruit punch. Let people choose.
Put
You
cool
should
blue
probably
It's
get it in form of
blue.
a cup. Yeah, there you go.
This to me is the least repulsive looking.
Orange
I'm
is
telling
the
you,
least
you're a
repulsive
Cody,
looking.
I'm a Cody, I'm an orange man.
Okay, I'm going to try the orange.
Okay.
You're going to try all 3.
Am I? Okay.
Okay,
Yes,
but
you
you're
are.
going to give us your historic. He's lived 70 years without sipping Gatorade. We will see what his thoughts are
I
on
can just
this.
take
I don't
a
get.
little, right,
Oh,
from
because
each?
other people could drink. Like, why wouldn't you just drink it out of it? But okay.
Well, because then it's wasted if he
Right.
doesn't like
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Am I judging these 3 in order?
Well, you're going to first give us your assessment. Let's have you do the classic. This is the original.
It
Lemon
is.
lime is the original. So you try that one first, and you tell us what you think of lemon
I
lime.
can't believe you've never had a Gatorade.
I worry he's not going to like any of these.
Okay, this was invented at the University of Florida, true?
Yes.
Okay, because this looks like Billy Napier's urine.
Not Santa Fe.
The yellow one.
Does
okay,
it?
you ready?
How do you know what Billy Napier's urine
Because
looks
on,
like?
all urine looks
Hold on, lay
similar.
out here. I
Come
want to
on.
hear the sip.
Wow. A little tart.
It's lemon lime.
Okay,
yeah.
I know. It's appropriately tart. Sugary as expected.
I think you like it.
I don't hate it.
You are smiling.
I don't hate it.
Don't
I
hate
gotta
it.
admit.
All right, let's see.
I'm
think
glad
you're-
it's not carbonated. I'm
Okay.
glad it's smooth.
Yes.
Did you think it was carbonated? You thought it was
wasn't sure.
carbonated? Okay, you weren't sure. You're going to have more of it, though. You're going to sip even more of
Okay,
it.
that's not bad.
All right, so
That's
he likes
pleasant.
the lemon lime. All right,
Pleasant
so
surprise.
which one are you going to now?
This
Do you
is
want to
the-
do like a number score?
Well, cleanse your palate. I gave you some water
Oh,
to
good
cleanse your
point.
palate.
Give you
yeah.
some water.
This
there.
is the orange.
Too much will get your heart racing.
Wait, are you
I'll tell
cleansing
that.
right now, or is that the orange?
That's cleansing.
Okay, good.
Orange. Doesn't thrill me as much as the yellow
You
one.
like
Turns you on.
You're right.
Yellow
Yeah.
bit better?
You're
He
right.
likes the lemon
Yellow
lime
has a little
better.
bit more
All right,
Yeah.
now
to
let's
it,
try
you know.
fruit
Gotta kick-
punch. Let's see what
cleanse.
you've got
Yeah,
after you
cleanse the
cleanse. A
palate,
good
yeah.
cleansing, yes.
Now you're getting the best one.
No, this is the worst.
You guys all believe? Oh,
I'm an orange guy.
Don't taint the jury.
Yeah, exactly.
Quiet sip.
No. Yellow.
The classic.
Wow.
He's
That's
in a-
crazy.
Nobody agrees with you.
Because it's a little tart.
Okay.
My
there it
tongue,
is.
my taste buds.
Could it be
preferred.
that the first one, the way it jumped at his tongue, like that's what he like?
Or it can just be his opinion, and he's entitled to that as an adult
Yeah.
man who knows what his tastes are, as opposed to his son who knows better than him about all things.
They're
No one
all
picks
they're
on
all too sweet. Like this would not be my go-to drink.
They do have a Gatorade Zero, Greg, with no sugar.
I would try that.
Yeah? Okay.
I would try that.
You didn't get a Four Loko
Next
either,
week.
I
Yeah,
noticed.
you know what? I'm going to combine all three.
No, don't do
What?
that.
Wow.
Lucy,
Yes.
don't do that.
I
Lucy,
like that.
Lucy, good talking to you. Thank you for being on with us. We'll enjoy your work
Oh,
next
yeah.
week. That's the
Oh,
Kool-Aid.
yeah.
That's the Kool-Aid. You just did the Kool-Aid, man.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Okay, now
I gotta get out of here.
it's
I
like,
gotta
it's
go.
like he's watching lion videos all of a sudden.
You ain't lying.
Tony is out in the field, and we're going to get to his top 5 here in just a second. But before we do so, I did want to talk about something that we have not yet talked about today. And I was very loud in my criticism when Disney and ABC pulled Jimmy Kimmel off the air. So last night, the news broke that Jimmy Kimmel was returning tonight. He was returning. Now, a couple of interesting and funny things about this. One, in their zeal to kill late night television, they've just rejuvenated it, because I suspect a whole lot of people will be wanting to hear what Jimmy Kimmel has to say
Big
today.
number tonight.
You would assume
But online
so.
the next day, probably on Twitter, they
Yeah.
watch what he said.
Yeah, I also but I think this might be one actually one
Are
of
you
the
gonna watch?
one of the rare ones. I think America will give it a bigger number than has been gotten by that show in a while, because people will want to know immediately and not wait until the morning what Jimmy Kimmel has to say about everything, because it's been such a public thing. I also think that Colbert is looking around like, what about me? You made mine about money. The way that you framed mine was exclusively about money, when I don't believe it was exclusively about money. I believe money was one of the factors. But Jimmy Kimmel, and I had this conversation last week with Mike Ryan, in which he was saying that Disney and Bob Iger were in a tricky spot. That's why he's paid $65 million a year. Like, it's real easy to lead in not tricky spots. You're asking a CEO, I should say, he made $65 million a year the year he was paid the most. Now he's merely in the 30s and 40s because Disney is doing less well.
I know, Dad. It's a lot of money.
But Disney executives got together, ABC executives got together, and they made the correct decision because of public pressure, not because of actual courage. These corporations just put a finger in the air. They wet their finger, put it in the air, and then see which way the customer is blowing. And in this particular case, you had almost total alignment in a way that made me hopeful between Republicans and Democrats that only seems to have been caused by Epstein so far, in terms of issues where we can have total agreement. It seems like a core principle here in free speech. We're against pedophilia. We're
I still haven't
for
released the list, so.
free speech. No, but I'm just saying that Republicans and Democrats have been in consensus.
Are they?
Wanting the list,
I mean, there's been votes, and
Sure,
it
doesn't
hasn't
seem
come
like
out.
it.
Yeah.
wanting the Epstein list. You don't think that that's something that people want. You don't think that public opinion has
Saying the
shown.
votes have stopped it from
I
coming
think
out.
the public has wanted it, but the people who have the actual authority do not.
Yeah, that's all we're saying.
Okay, and I'm talking about Republican and Democratic voices. I wasn't actually talking about the power. I'm talking about the consensus in the public opinion of how it is that people align to put pressure on corporations so that they fight back when the corporations won't fight the bully. What just happened here is Disney got scared of the amount of cancellations and the amount of noise and just went with public opinion here. They've still got a problem because these Sinclair, if you know how the local affiliates work, Sinclair and others are still going to do what they did when Sesame Street originally a long time ago dared to have minorities on television. You still have local power that's not going to air Kimmel tonight. There are going to be plenty of places that don't air Kimmel tonight. and again, it'll be something of a rejuvenation for late night television because people will be wanting to see. It'll be temporary, but people will be wanting to see what it is that everything that's going to happen around Jimmy Kimmel going forward. But this is fairly seismic. The idea that they would reverse course on what was federal interference, censorship. They reversed course because of public opinion. That's encouraging that the public made Disney fight.
Absolutely. I don't think it's overstating it to consider this a very small victory for democracy and freedom of speech. I know that sounds ridiculous, but in the times we're living in, I don't think it's an exaggeration. I think the people spoke. I know people in my life who canceled Disney over this because it was such a. First of all, Jimmy Kimmel sent condolences to Charlie Kirk's family. Okay, Jimmy Kimmel never criticized Charlie Kirk. He criticized MAGA for capitalizing on the Charlie Kirk assassination. So the whole thing was misconstrued. Kimmel did not deserve to be let go. It was a violation of every tenet of freedom of speech. And so this feels good. It feels like a small victory.
So if you cancel, do you resubscribe so then they can boast that their subscription numbers are way up? Or do you now just miss the show that you were fighting for coming back on air and then the numbers are down?
That's a good question. I don't know.
We're in quite the pickle right now.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show.
My movie theater sells pickles.
How much?
It's $2.99.
Damn.
Really? Movie theaters sell pickles?
Mine.
My God. That is so weird. I never knew. Haven't been in a movie theater in 10 years.
Dill.
Maybe about 5 years ago. During the pandemic, we went to see Rocket Man.
Of all times to go to the movie theaters, you went during the pandemic.
Yeah, it was weird.
He's a big Elton John guy. Before that, it was Swing Vote.
It was indeed.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Do the people who canceled their Hulu subscription now uncancel their Hulu subscription because of the news that Jimmy Kimmel is indeed returning tonight? Let's go out to Tony here. Tony is on Biscayne Boulevard. Tony's top five. He's got a sign he's holding up. Honk if the Falcons clowned you 30-0 Panthers.
Oh, Dano, it's Tony's top five, and it's presented by Smirnoff, the official vodka sponsor of the National Football League. Smirnoff, please drink responsibly. The Smirnoff Company, New York, New York. Vodka, 40% alcohol by volume.
Let's listen here closely. You're going to turn the music down real low so we can hear if anyone does indeed honk if the Falcons clowned you, Tony. Explain to me the sign that you've got up there, please.
Yeah, Dan, thank you. Started raining a little bit earlier, so my makeup might come off here on my nose. But the sign is honk if the Falcons clowned you. Last week in my Tony's Top 5 OLI, I said the Falcons are going to surprise people, and boy did they. They surprised me and made me look like an idiot. After I said they were going to be good, they lost 30-0 to the Panthers, who haven't been good in 3 years. Come on, buddy. A lot of hesitant honkers, by the way.
How many honks have you gotten so far?
I've gotten 10. I've gotten a good 10 honks. I think people read the sign, then realize what the sign says, and then at about the light back there is when they honk.
The situation that you're in, though, is the same one that Greg Cody is in. That did not sound like a real honk. That sounded like Chris Cody produced a shitty honk from artificial intelligence. That is not. I want real honks. I want authentic honks. I want to be a credible honking establishment.
Here we go.
All right, hold on.
Here we go. Come on, this guy's got it. Right here, buddy. Let's go. Here we go. Oh, he pointed. He pointed at me.
Yeah, that is not a real honk. That is
wow.
No, that is you made the Falcons also made Greg Cody look bad this week because he said the Falcons were good after they beat the Vikings, and then all of a sudden I see Kirk Cousins out there last week.
Yeah, awful.
Yeah, that was a bad sight.
It's a little tough. Wordy, that sign. I think people read the word honk. They're going by 40 miles an hour. They read the word honk, and by the time they get to if Falcons, they're past. They don't know. What's he honking about?
Yeah.
What am I honking about?
Nobody's going to honk here.
Yeah! Let's go! Over right here. Here we go. That guy was on his phone. No biggie. All right. Here we go.
Do we have OLI?
All right, we're going to start off. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We're starting off in the OLI. Falcons didn't surprise anyone but me with how bad they played. That was first OLI right there. Falcons clown the boys. What do you think about that, guys? Yeah, thumbs up.
I think you need to stop
second
interacting
OLI.
with the traffic and just plow through these.
Are you sure? I can get one more.
No, please just stop.
Oh, that guy gave me a thumbs up. He gave me a thumbs
Not
up.
That's not the finger I saw.
Not helpful. Thank you. Don't interact with
This
traffic.
guy's reading it. Hold on.
Give me the top 5.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
enough.
shout out to them.
Enough.
All right.
Enough.
All right, okay. Serio. By the way, there is a big mahong here on the floor that I have to navigate and make sure that I don't step on it.
You can stand
All right,
anywhere you
OLI
want.
number 2.
Why is there
I know, but
a
the thing is,
dog
as I get
turd?
closer,
A dog turd? Somebody just left a
there's
dog turd
tremendo
on the
mahong right
sidewalk.
there.
Probably a dog.
Yeah,
A Mahone?
yeah, tremendo mahong.
Patrick Mahone?
Mahong.
That's
What does look like so far this year?
no, no.
All right, blur that.
Yeah.
Blur
Yeah.
that. Yeah, blur
All right,
that.
we don't need it. We
Yeah.
don't need
The
it.
thing is, as I get closer,
Blur that.
like I can step on it. But all right, OLI number 2, Dallas, more like Dal ass.
Nice.
Thank you, Greg.
Very nice.
Mini Pearl. Number 5.
Number 5. I want you guys to throw up on the screen. Lewis, throw up on the screen for me. I love the throwback jerseys around the league this week. Patriots were in the reds. I love that. The Bucks were in the creamsicle, but like the alternate creamsicle with the white and the cream, which was beautiful. The Jags had like their old school Jags logos. Very, very fun around the league to see what teams were throwing it back.
The Bucks uniforms were really cool. Number 4.
Beautiful. Number 4. Lions steadied the boat, Dan. Lions steadied the boat.
The boat was rocking.
Boat was rocking after week 1. It was like, okay, wow, Ben Johnson's gone. What is this team going to be with no Ben Johnson, with no offense that they had for a long time? The lady's not paying attention.
Number 3.
Then they obviously. Oh, okay. Number 3. Hold on, let me see if I can get this bus. Here we go, buddy. Here we go.
I want you to
Oh,
stop.
it gave me a peace sign.
That is not a real
There
honk.
it is. Thank you.
I don't believe that's a real honk.
Number
I believe
3. Number 3. Dudes like that should not be running 19 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Dan, I got in my car yesterday, and I went 19 miles an hour, and I was like, oh, this is what he was running. Wow.
Number 2.
The guy didn't honk. Number 2, Baker's a top 5 QB in the league.
Train coming by.
I have asked you to stop interacting with the traffic and mercifully get us to the end of this, please. Number 1.
There was a train. There was a train coming. I had to get out of the way. All right, Justin Herbert, number 1, Justin Herbert has already had the best throw of the year. Rolling to his left, throwing around the linebacker on a strike to a touchdown to Keenan Allen. Best throw of the year. We can send it in already. Nobody's going to beat that throw. Best throw of the year. That's Tony's top 5. Let's see if I can get one more honk out here, Dan.
Greg Cody agrees with you on that
What
one.
a throw. Against his
Thank
body,
you.
he throws a rope.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Greg.
See
You're
you
welcome.
later, Tony. Thanks for being the clown.
Here we go. One more. Yeah!